What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to stop. I thought Lil Bird was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ram right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Bird was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Girl. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup in his neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Hit me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Well, hello. Hey. What's going on, people? I am here. We are live. Yes, I know I've been gone. Y'all know what my travel schedule gives. Y'all know what it be about. Y'all know what it's like. I do the best that I can. But I'm here now. We are here now. It's all we need to worry about. Let me share this on my wall, on my community wall. Anyway, how's y'all Sunday going? It is Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all those people who celebrate it, and to all of those people who ain't gonna do nothing but find the best spots later this afternoon and evening to go drink and act like you celebrate it, because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just telling you, I'm just gonna go and act like, girl. Should I have a drink? It is Cinco de Mayo. Should I have a drink, y'all, or should I got two options. I got Gatorade, or I could have a drink. Should I have a drink, y'all? Y'all let me know. Drink or Gatorade? I'm gonna let y'all decide what I'm gonna have. Y'all let me know. Anyway, while y'all decide, let me say hello to the people. Hey, Tracy. How are you, my love? El Sid, how are you? Tracy W. I got both double mint twins in place. Wonder Twin powers activate. Yana, what is going on, my love? I got Tracy C and Tracy W here. Tatiana TJ, how are you, sweetheart? Ina, how are you, boo? Lady Majil. Why is it not a sexy Sunday? Tracy, that's old school. The people new school ain't ready for a sexy Sunday. Tracy, the news people ain't ready for how we used to carry on around here. Some of these people ain't used to this kind of stuff. They don't know how we used to carry on Twitter back in the day. They not used to peeing dicks and muscles and abs and all kinds of stuff in their face. They don't want to see all that, Tracy. Hey, Lemon Kush Pepper. I got L. Sid said drink. Universe Soul. Hey, Universe Soul Goddess said Gatorade. Ina said Gatorade. Symmetry. Hey, Symmetry, how are you? Hey, KER Vixen. Hey, Opal. What is going on, everybody? I guess I'm going to be doing the Gatorade because I got more votes for the Gatorade than I did for a drink. So I guess Gatorade it is. I'm still waiting for y'all to vote. Y'all didn't say, well, they got to learn eventually, child. Hey, Bluebell, how are you? We started margaritas at 2:15. You late time to catch up. Not at 2:50. I'm sorry, 12:15. Well, let me hold on, y'all. If that's the case, then I need to. That means I need to go get some. Hold on. Then let me go get some ice. Hold on. See something here. Let's see something here. Let's see if I do a 1 minute, the old 1 minute intro, whether or not I'll have enough time. I'm going to do the old 1 minute intro. Hopefully, I have enough time to go and get the ice and come back. I'll be right back. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm back. I thought I had more time. I guess I didn't. Oh, shoot. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the alcohol. Hold on. Let me get the alcohol. All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So we ready now. Now we ready. All right, y'all. We back. Okay, we here. We ready. It's Cinco de Mayo. Let's put some ice in here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Put one more piece of ice. Okay, that'll fit. And then we're gonna pour some good gin. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of gin. L Teddy, that's a lot of goddamn gin. Fuck you think this is? Like you ain't got to go to work tomorrow. Oh shit, well, whatever. Pour some chaser on here. Child, by the time I get to the bottom of this, I'm gonna be toe down. It's a lot of goddamn alcohol in here. Dear God. A lot of alcohol, not a lot of chaser. What's going on, everybody? It's fucking Cinco de Mayo. Have a fucking drink with L Teddy 27. We're gonna do some run your mouth. We're gonna have a good time. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to drop the link. Hey, 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 Harold. Everybody say hi to Harold. Harold is in the building. All my Harold stands. Harold's harem. Y'all can say hi to Harold. As we like to call y'all, Harold's harem. Hey, everybody. It's fucking Cinco de Mayo. Let's do this. LC say, I'm driving. I can't drink. Hey, Cams. Hey, that's my boo right there, Cam. Y'all know Cams is my secret YouTube boyfriend. He just don't know it. But that's my secret YouTube boyfriend, Cams, right there. Hey, Cams. Even though he be neglecting me, he don't do me right. Anyway, yes, we are having Sunday Fun Day, Cinco de Mayo. Yes, spicy original. Yes. I am back. Harold checked on me while I was out. Harold said, "You've been gone too long. You ain't even been in the members only chat. What the fuck you got going on?" I know, y'all. My life. My life. You did too much last night. You taking it easy right now? Ciao. A glass of wine later? Ciao. Hey, SJ. All right, it looked like everybody coming on in. Y'all go ahead, come on in. Take your seats. Go ahead and grab your desk. Sit by your bestie. Sit by your BFF Jill. IDK my BFF Jill. Yeah, sit by your BFF Jill. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a lot of alcohol. Oh, Jesus. And yes, sit. Go ahead, grab a seat. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's make it. Hey, two geeks and a nerd productions. What is going on? I hope you're having a good Cinco de Mayo. Y'all know I've been going, so I got some stories that I need to attack since I was gone. Since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. Listen, top story of the last week or so. Listen, let me help y'all understand something. The proverbial orange shirt that y'all's boy wheelchair Jimmy Aubrey Graham Drake has turned into. Listen, listen, listen. I told y'all last week when Kendrick Lamar dropped Euphoria and I listened to you, and we can all kind of sat listening to Euphoria for like 6+ minutes, like riveted, like what is happening? How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Oh my God, oh my Lord, somebody get him off of wheelchair Jimmy. The way he was, I mean, it was just gut punches. It was just gut punches. Oh, Tafari 718. You must be new here. Yeah, that's the patented trademark L Teddy 27. That's like I said, AKA or also known as or better known as, otherwise known as. That's what we do around here. Anyway, hey, Xavier, good morning to you and everybody else on the West Coast. Hey, V-Bay, what's going on, sweetheart? Listen, Lee Jones. I don't have to take care of you, Lee Jones. I'm sure, my boo, Cams will, my boo, my sweetheart, my love bug over there, Cams. He'll take care of you appropriately. I don't have to do anything to you since you got that big of an issue with me. I'm sure somebody will take care of you in the chat. One of the hall monitors will gather you. I'm sure one of them. Lee Jones. Anyway, Cause he asked me, was I done? Oh, Jesus. How you tell me how you really feel, Lee Jones? I mean, I'm sure after a few moments you'll have to say it from the bushes, because I'm sure somebody will gather you. Mm. Anyway, but yes. So for those new here, for those of you all, hey Gabby, sneaking up in here. Um, for those of you all that are new here, hey Jason, if you don't know what we mean when we say orange shirt, can I just get some orange shirts in the chat, please? Either the orange shirt emoji or hashtag orange shirt, whatever you want to put in the chat, just put it in there because that's what we got going on. We have the infamous orange shirt video that we've chronicled and watched on my channel, and we've seen it a couple times. I'm not gonna bring out the orange shirt video today. You just got to go back and go through the L Teddy 27 archives to find out what orange shirt. But orange shirt, for those people who don't know, that's when you getting bodied. That's when you getting your ass beat down. And this was such a proverbial orange shirt because remember the dude in the orange shirt was real high yellow, looked like he was mixed of biracial or multiracial. You know what I'm saying? Um, you go where you going, Harold? Where the hell you going? Anyway, all right, Harold, we'll be here when you come back. And so remember the orange shirt dude in the video got his ass monkey stomped, was bleeding and shit, went outside, came back in to get beat up again, and they were like, "No, girl, go outside." Girl, that's what happened with Drake. Euphoria came out. At that time, we did a video. What was that? Wednesday? No, that wasn't Wednesday. That was Tuesday. And what did I say at that time? I said, "Hey, Sharice, what's going on, boo?" I said, "Please, please, please do not come with a response, Drake." But we knew he couldn't help himself. Hey, vintage 1970. He could not help himself. So what did Drake do? He brought his ass back out here. And what happened when he brought his ass back out here? It was like, oh, girl. You fell right into the trap. You fell your ass right into the trap. Right into the trap. What happens? Kendrick Lamar comes back with Meet the Grams, where the man addressed your son. The man told your son, just remember this album when you turn 18 and come holler at me then. The man told your son that he wished his granddaddy had used a condom. I was like, oh dear God. Then he addressed Drake's mom. I said, Jesus, Jesus, keep me near the cross. God, help me, please. I proverbially heard the dude from the orange shirt video saying, he get you, sister, bitch. He get you, sister. Because he was, listen, I was just like, oh God, what is happening? What the hell is happening? He addressed the man's dad. He did address him last. I was like, Jesus God, what is happening? I don't know what is happening. Somebody need to go over there and talk to that young man. And when I thought it couldn't get any worse, that was Friday, right? I said, oh, it can't get no worse. I said, please, please, Drake, don't respond. And before, hey, Jeannie, what's going on? Before I could get out of my mouth, please, Drake, don't respond, Kendrick Lamar doubled down with a whole club banger, Not Like Us. Listen, Not Like Us, when the beat drop, you feel like you in the club. Like, yes, bitch. Ow, bitch. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. And it was the man accused him of being a whole pedophile. The man, alleged that he had another child, some daughter, which I guess they've refuted and said Drake really doesn't have a daughter, but it didn't even matter. It still landed. It didn't matter. At this, oh God, Listen, I just want to go to the club tonight. Hey, Montrez, just because I know whatever club you go to in America, a black club that is, they gonna play not like us. And that shit is gonna be that shit is a whole bop. That shit gonna ride. Listen, right. V. Carter, the fact that he gave you a whole history lesson on the city of Atlanta and what it meant for colonizers to come to Atlanta and how they used black people, and that became an allegory toward Drake. I was like, y'all know what? I'm not doing this with y'all. The fact that he broke out the whole history lesson on the great city of Atlanta. I said, somebody better go over there and get Kendrick Lamar off this young man. Please go get him. It, Jesus God, this is not cute. Child. What you say you learned about the set on the rap beat? Wasn't that the Pusha T rap beat where Pusha T dog walked wheelchair Jimmy? Bro gonna end up in a wheelchair for real. For real, for real. I ain't even lying. Hey, waistband. Hey, waist beads by Bree. Child Bree. So waist beats by Bree say, oh, that is really his daughter. You know, there's people alleging that it's not his daughter. It is his daughter. I don't know if it is or is it. Yeah. Cam's Pusha T did Thanos him. He did. Hey, Citizen Jane, listen. I just need for somebody to go over there and sit down with wheelchair Jimmy and rub him on his back. You know, when somebody going through and you just need to let them grieve and be comforted on and cry on your shoulder and rub their back. Somebody go over there with wheelchair Jimmy and just rub his back. Just one of y'all going on over there. One of y'all who go see about the sick and shut in, because he's sick and shut in this weekend. Listen. Wheelchair Jimmy, step out of the because I know you somewhere in the studio, somewhere in the booth at the studio. Just step out of the studio, please. Just step out. No, just step out of the booth. Whatever you thinking, however you think this is gonna go, step out of the goddamn booth. Yeah, I hope Abby put him on the second shut-in list. I'm just saying. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Like, who's advising him? Somebody need to go over there and sit with wheelchair Jimmy. Somebody need to go sit over there with wheelchair Jimmy, because I don't know. I guess your time of cosplaying within the black community is over, because that's all you've been doing, wheelchair Jimmy, cosplaying over here in the black community. Let's just be clear. Hey, MVN, we've never respected you. No real person in the hip-hop industry ever respected you, wheelchair Jimmy, ever. And now you're being exposed. That last one made me tuck my chain. I was scared, child. Hey, Philly John. Hey, boo. You say you team K. Dot. Listen, not like us. V. Carter is a whole bop. You can sit there and listen to it in the club and be like, oh shit. Because see, let's be clear. Euphoria came out. And when Euphoria came out, he didn't give a shit. Euphoria fucking Kendrick went to the goddamn mic. He said, I don't give a shit how it sound. I don't give a shit what the beat got going on. I'm just riding on this motherfucker. I'm just gonna dog walk his ass. I don't want nothing. I don't want no beat. I don't need no beat. I don't need shit but this goddamn mic and 6+ minutes to fuck his ass up, to ether his ass. And that's what he did with Euphoria. Then when Drake decided to respond, he hit him even not with a body blow, but with a gut punch, because the man dragged your mama into it. The man dragged your son into it. He dragged your whole family into it. And you knew that was a gut punch. And while you were gasping for air with the gut punch, he decided, and you was writhing on the ground, he decided to break out not like us so he could dance on top of your body that's drifting off to the great beyond. Because I'm telling you, just like not like I'm not just like us, but not like us is a whole bop. Like I just want to go to the club and let that shit ride out and have a fucking drink in my hand and be jamming and be bumping that shit. Hey, lovely 31 blueprint boo, you changed your avatar. Hey, Aaron Mack, didn't Drake win a Pulitzer? Child. Mm. Somebody need wheelchair Jimmy over there. Hey, Cassandra, wheelchair Jimmy is over there in somebody's booth right now, and somebody need to be over there telling wheelchair Jimmy, sir, it's over. It's over. We threw the white flag in for you. We threw in the white towel in for you. Somebody in his corner, if this were a boxing match, somebody in his corner just throw the white flag in now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't. Just come out the booth. Come out the booth now. You got enough money where you could just ride out into the sunset, sir. Maybe you can go back to acting. Maybe you can get back in the wheelchair or something like that. You're believable as wheelchair Jimmy. Jimmy, you're not believable as a rapper. Let's just be clear. This cosplay you've had going on, trying to be, one of us, like Kendrick said, you're not like us. I'm just saying, whip via pen. I'm just trying to tell you, somebody should have went over there. Hey, Tanya, I know you is Ty Red. Tanya been partying all weekend, y'all. I'm surprised Tanya got time to come in here and say hello to us. How you doing, Tanya? How you doing, boo? You all right? Kendrick defended Tupac, Salida, West Coast, protecting the kids from a child. The man called you a whole pedophile. The man called you a predator. Tanya, I know you tired over there, girl. Girl, I know you is tired, but you partied hard this weekend, girl. He went from Houston to Atlanta to reggae to house with child. Somebody act. Listen, go back to being wheelchair Jimmy. Just go pitch the grassy, the grassy high all grown up or something like that, and you could go back to being in your wheelchair, and you could make some money that way. Going back to acting, being in that good wheelchair. But baby, you need to put the mic down. Get out. Step out the booth. Step out the booth, please, sir. Step out the goddamn booth. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying. I mean, we know Drake makes rap music made for the ladies, although the ladies probably would rather have sex with Kendrick before they would rather have sex with you. I'm just being honest with you, Drake. I'm not trying to, go in on you. Kendrick already did. I don't even need to go in on you. You already done been dog walked, but I'm just being honest. Hey, Simera. That slave verse that Drake said was what? Child. Mm. Go back to singing Drake. It's all over. Call Lil Wayne, child. Kendrick did not like us for the Drake stands. Y'all want a bop? Y'all wanted a bop? Well, he gave you one with a two-step and a check. Listen, OV ho, listen. Have y'all seen all of the videos where they put like the dance videos behind it? They got the not like us video, and then they got cuts of everybody dance video. The one with Aaliyah rock the boat in the background just sit me on the glory. Just sit me on the glory. Then they had one with Beyonce in the background. Y'all know I don't even like Beyonce like that, but it just gave me everything I need, child. Girl, take care with the peak for Drake, child. Child. Sad and moody music was his back, child. Wheelchair Jimmy, we don't know what to tell you. Well, we do know what to tell you around these parts. Round these parts, Wheelchair Jimmy. Prodigy's lawyer. My mama said he is the man version of Nicki, and she is so right. Quiet as it's kept, Nicki Minaj, left to herself, probably would have better bars than Wheelchair Jimmy. As long as it's a feature. As long as Nicki Minaj is featured on somebody's album, Nicki goes hard. Now you ask her to do a whole song by herself on her album, mm, but a feature, yeah. I mean, I'm here for all parts of Nicki. Nicki Minaj on a feature, Mama goes hard. Hmm. Drake always claiming his black side, yet he using slave terminology recklessly, child, and he has Jewish ancestry, to child. Mm, mm. Rick Ross was blasting the song. He was, Aaron. She's the best when she has one. Right. 1 minute and 20 seconds. Listen, Nicki Minaj on a feature, Mama is gonna come and rock your world. Now ask her to do a whole song, child. I'm sorry to the Barbs. You know, child. Sorry. Philly John, it's the dances for me. It's the way they got. No, did you see the one where they had not like us playing, but the video for OVO in the background with Wheelchair Jimmy dancing to it, and it fit perfectly, and they had the music perfectly aligned. So when he said OVO, he Wheelchair Jimmy was saying OVO. Oh, it was everything. Everything. It was everything. Child. Metro put out BBL jersey for people to rap on it. That's awesome, child. Philly John, I'm just telling you what I know. Kendrick Grammy submissions is all dish tracks. Let's not forget Drake was raised by his white mother while his black father was well, then there. That's why I say he's cosplaying. Because you grew up in America's hat. Canada with your white ass mama. You'll always be wheelchair Jimmy. I'm just saying. She needs writers for her hooks. They aren't good. That's the one thing her northern elf counterpart has over her. Oh well. Considering Nicki's decision making, she should have stayed with He was a better option, and he could ghostwrite for her. Oh Jesus. Y'all just being just disrespectful in the chat. Oh shit. Damn it. Tell me how y'all really feel. Now tell me how y'all really feel about Nicki Minaj. Cause y'all know the Barbs will come over here. Child. Those people are, mm. The sad part is wheelchair Jimmy. Wheelchair Jimmy do got some stands. They aren't as, cult like and ravenous as the Barbs or the Beehive. But mm, Prodigy's lawyers say fuck them hoes. They can't fight. Oh, well, that's coming from Prodigy's lawyer. Listen, I don't know what to tell wheelchair Jimmy. I don't know what to tell you, sir. Sir, step out of the booth. Whatever you're thinking, you need to step out of the booth. I think I froze. Sorry about that, y'all. I think I froze. I didn't mean that, y'all. Anyway, wheelchair Jimmy, you probably already got a song locked and loaded that you ready to press send on and send it out. Don't do it. Just rethink that. Just go away. You got enough money where you can go away and just live off your money. Just don't do it. Mm. I'm ch- ch- listen, sir. You couldn't handle it. He had too much for you. It was too big. You know what you are, wheelchair Jimmy? You're the proverbial girl that talked all that shit, and dude was over there saying, "All right, just wait till we get to this bedroom." Y'all got in the bedroom, and he pulled out, and you was like, "Oh shit, I didn't expect all of that." Nah, bitch, we here now. You finna take all of it, and then you sat down and you laid your ass down there like, "Oh shit, I guess I gotta take it now," not knowing that he finna split you from stem to stern. Because not only does he got size, length, girth, and everything, but dude got a stroke to go along with the size, the length, the girth, and can put got some size on him and can put his weight behind it too with the stroke game. Baby, listen, he done fucked you, nutted up in you, then did a second nut and nutted on your face, and now you just laying there, laid out, legs open, can't even move. Can't even move. Just laid out, just laying there in a, simultaneously both in pain and ecstasy all at the same time. Because you got pain because he done ripped you from stem to stern. All the while, you still got a little bit of ecstasy because you ain't never know your body could take all of that, and the sex and stroke game was good. So you don't know whether to cry or whether to be happy. You don't know whether these are tears of joy or tears of ecstasy or tears of pain and sorrow. You got everything going on at the same time. I'm just saying. That's what we got going on. Reptile with sad human eyes, child. I'm just saying. Wheelchair Jimmy, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm telling you, I've already given you your options. You go to one of these, streaming services, Paramount Plus, HBO Max. You got enough clout. You part Jewish. You could go over there to the, uh, cable executives and pitch Degrassi, all grown up. And you could go back to being wheelchair Jimmy. You could stop cosplaying, trying to act like you black, shave off that little beard, shave off them little braids or whatever, or go back to having a little afro and go back to being wheelchair Jimmy. You were much better at being wheelchair Jimmy. Let's just be clear. I'm just saying. Hey, quintessential boo. Kenny Kruger size sevens is knee deep in P jerseys and child. Big black crypto. You better say it. Listen. Wheelchair Jimmy, we can't spend all day on you. It's other news that we have to tackle today, Wheelchair Jimmy. We just not gonna spend all day on you today, Wheelchair Jimmy. Okay, on this good Cinco de Mayo. Well, listen, when we go to our Cinco de Mayo parties tonight, I'm sure not like us will be featured in the rotation down to the Cinco de Mayo parties. Because I can see myself after a couple shots of tequila being drunk as hell on the middle of the dance floor. Get my life. Quintessential, what are we drinking? I was gonna drink Gatorade, but the people said that it's Cinco de Mayo, so we're drinking the Botanist, my favorite gin, the Botanist gin. We ain't even got no snacks. I do have a small bag of these little pretzel twists that are so good. That's all we got. Right, go with listen, wheelchair Jimmy. We got other stories to cover. We don't. We're just not here to cover you all day. To cover your dismantling. To cover you being undressed. To cover you being bodied and ethered. We ain't got that type of time. We have other things that we need to cover. And so, listen. Wheelchair Jimmy, listen. As we say around these parts, and we say it so well, you can go ahead and put the emojis in the chat. Go ahead and put the emojis in the chat now. As we say around these parts, Wheelchair Jimmy, and we say it so eloquently and so effortlessly. Sir, go with God. That's all we got for you. Go with God. You need to see him bleed out. Y'all want the man to bleed out? Sir, go with God. Orange shirt. Go with God. Go with God. Listen. Do y'all remember when we covered the Lovers with Friends concert and they had everybody that had ever dropped the album in the world on that cover? Remember we covered that here, and half the people on that said, "Bitch, y'all ain't even talk to me. How y'all got me on the fucking flyer and promos for y'all fucking concert, and y'all ain't even call me and tell me shit?" Remember everybody, Mary J. Blige was like, "No, that ain't me. I ain't doing that shit." And then she came back around when they gave her, a couple coins. Everybody was come. So they had come to the point where they paid everybody off. Well, baby, listen, not Fire Festival 3.0, because baby, they don't cancel it because they allegedly had bad weather and were expecting 60-mile-per-hour winds. They wanted to be, as the people said, Fire Festival 3.0. You had Keith and Lee out there talk about, yeah, I'm gonna be out here giving out food to the people for the fire festival and everything. You had all of the people. Usher was there in town. Fucking Snoop was there. Everybody was in place. They said Janet was even in place. And girl, they said no, sorry. The winds are too high. The winds are too high. We just gonna take y'all money, pocket it, and maybe give y'all a few dollars back. Y'all might have paid $100 for these tickets. We'll give each one of y'all like $5 back, and that's gonna be it. Girl, what? Girl, what? You had Usher. Usher went and did like a concert, I think at the Aria's Hotel or whatever. You had since everybody was in town, they were like, well, shit, might as well make a good coin. So you had a couple people in a few different places that decided that they were going to do a impromptu concert or whatnot. And the hotels, I'm sure, on the strip were, happy to oblige them. But this was a whole epic fail, an entire epic fail. They say Alicia Keys was in town. Cassandra, you know that woman can't sing. God snatched that woman's voice. Well, she never really had a voice. She only had like a half of a voice, but the little half of a voice she had, God snatched from her when she stole that woman's husband. Swiss Beats. When she stole Swiss Beats and she slept with that married man and stole him from his wife, that's when she lost the half a voice she had. That's why you went on the Super Bowl cracking and shit. That's why, I never really seen it for that woman. I'm just saying. I never really seen it for her high yellow ass with the freckles. The woman only really had one good song for me. And then that one good song she had for me, her background singers are out singing her with their oohs and ahs. And that was You Don't Know My Name. Because the background singers were singing for life. The background singers were singing for life. Oh, You Don't Know My Name. And then you have my boo Most Def on there. So I was here for that. But girl, we'll see it for you. We just don't. The people don't like you like that, girl. Girl, you in the same category as Wheelchair Jimmy. You in the same category as Wheelchair Jimmy. I didn't like your whole first album because as a musician, A minor is my least favorite key. I just hate that key. As a musician myself, I hate that key. So I didn't like the whole first album, the entire first album. You could have kept that shit. I'm just saying. Like, girl. Anyway, what y'all gonna do about these people money? These people pay good money to see this concert. I mean, you had Janet Jackson, Alicia Keys, Usher, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne. Like, you had everybody imaginable. And they sent out some tweet. Let me tell you what the actual cancellation said. It said, quote, Saturday's Lovers and Friends Festival at the Las Vegas Festival Grounds has been canceled. Lovers and Friends Festival organizers have been monitoring the weather for several days and proactively preparing for a windy Saturday. However, the National Weather Service has now issued a high wind warning, including dangerous 30 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds with gusts potentially more than 60 miles per hour. Following advice from the National Weather Service and in consultation with local public officials, we must make the safest decision for our fans, artists, and staff and cancel tomorrow's Lovers and Friends Festival. This was an incredibly heartbreaking decision to make, as we are aware that fans have traveled from all over the world to enjoy this incredible lineup of superstars and have been looking forward to this event for several months. We've worked hard to create an amazing event for you, and we are just as disappointed as you are. Ticket holders who purchase their tickets directly from Front Gate Tickets will receive a refund within 30 days to the original form of payment. That's what the festival organized. End quote. That's what they said. I mean, you had it. You had everybody on there. I mean, you had 98 degrees. What are the 98 degrees fans going to do? Okay. You got people. What if I'm a 98 degrees stand? I ain't seen 98 degrees in the last 15 years, but I came and bought tickets to this concert to see 98 degrees. What if I wanted to see pregnant ass Ashanti with her baby daddy Nelly come on out and see her 4 5 months pregnant, on stage? What if I was looking forward to seeing her? What if I was looking forward to see an old ass Genuine go on stage and sing "My Pony"? Let's do it, ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting. Come and jump on it. With his old ass, tired ass grandpa, Uncle Moose. What if I was looking forward to Juvenile coming out and doing Back That Ass Up or 400 Degrees? Okay, I might have been looking forward to seeing SWV and Escape come out there and do they goddamn music. And now you go and cancel it. This is what we got going on. Eve was supposed to come out there with her tambourine and shit. They even had Jodeci out there. I can't leave you alone. You got me fiending. They said had some of everybody known the man out there. I was looking forward to seeing Jodeci. I was looking forward to cracked out ass. Is it Dalvin or Mr. Dalvin or Devontae? One of the two brothers is cracked out and coked out on every illicit drug known to man. Let's just be clear. I just wanted to see if he was gonna be sober enough to make it to the stage. Okay. Which one is it that's a whole ass dope fiend? Is it Mr. Dalvin or is it Devontae? One of them two is a whole ass dope fucking fiend. I wanted to hear, I can't leave you alone. You got me fiending. Who else they got on the playlist? They got Fabulous out there. Listen, I wanted to see Fabulous and his alleged 13 to 14 inch peen roll out on stage with the chipped tooth. I was looking forward to that. Bitch, they even had Khalees on the playbill. I wanted to hear her sing, I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now. I was looking forward to that. And now I have to be deprived of that. I mean, Keisha Cole was going to go out there hollering. Shit. Neo was going to leave the brothel up the road long enough to come and do a couple songs. You even had T-Pain. He was coming out there with the whole auto tunes and shit. And now I can't hear auto tune King himself. The Beehive took their foot off of Carrie Hillskank's neck long enough to allow her to come and be on the set, and y'all ain't even letting her go out there. I'm just saying. Cisco was coming out there with Drew Hill. Next was coming out there to sing, baby, when we're grinding, I get so excited. I like it. Try, but I can't find it. Oh, you dancing real close, cause real slow. You're making it up for me. Trina was even on the bill. I'm just saying. Trina was I'm just saying. Pull over that ass too fast. Come on now. I'm from Miami. Y'all know I don't play by Trina. Just saying. Girl. We ain't talking about the big people yet, Montrez. We ain't want to see the big name people. I ain't come here to see Usher do Lovers and Friends. I ain't come here to see Janet Jackson. I ain't come here to see no Lil Wayne, no Snoop Dogg. I came here to see Lloyd and Kelly Rowland. That's what we came here to see. We came here to see Rick Ross. Baby, we came here to see Method Man and Redman on stage. I came here to see Jeremiah sing Birthday Sex. Birthday Sex. I'm just saying. Even T.I. was on the bill. Pretty Ricky was coming out there with Spectacular and all. Girl. Nah, I can't even see them. Mario was coming out there. Girl, you know I wanted to see some Mario. The Yin Yang Twins was gonna be out there. On the floor wide open, tweak so much they call her Billy Ocean. Oh my God. What are the people gonna do? What are they gonna do? Because that's what they was really here for. Listen, they even had Black on the bill, and I loves me some Black, even though one of the original members is dead, and there's only two of them. They're just like TLC guy was on the bill, and one of their members is dead, and it's just two of them. But I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to boom like an 808, boom baby, circles like a figure eight, ow 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 ow, feels good from head to toe. I'm just saying. That's what we were looking for. Drew Hill was on the bill, Tracy. I'm just saying. Yeah. I told you they had everybody known the man on the bill. Girl. Well, listen. You only getting your money back, allegedly, if you paid through front gate tickets, you'll get your money back. The rest of y'all, I don't know what to tell you. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't pay through, what is it, front gate tickets, baby, listen. Oh, did I forget to mention that Backstreet Boys was coming on there? Backstreet's back. All right. Come on now. Tell me why. Come on now. I was looking forward to hearing. Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. I was looking forward to that. And now you going to deprive me of that. I want it that way. Just saying. I'm just saying. And now you've deprived me. Xavier, I don't know what you want from me, Xavier. Your friend got her refund, Miss Kiki. Well, maybe she got it through the right people. But if you ain't get it through the right people, you ain't getting no refund. I don't know what to tell you, sweetheart, dear one, doll baby, love bug. I'm just saying. Did half the people even know they was doing the show? They ain't know. They might have played a little track. A lot of these people that they had on there was gonna be like a track that they was gonna play, or they'll play their song in between sets and stuff like that. And so we have nothing for you people. Go with God. Oh dear God, I thought it was gonna get better and it didn't. So y'all's girl, I'm giving her to y'all because I don't like her ass descending from the fucking Caucasus Mountains. You know how I feel about this woman, Sharon Osbourne. 71-year-old Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne, who's had more plastic surgeries, she's had more plastic surgeries than Michael Jackson. Okay. and Joan Rivers put together. But Sharon Osbourne wanted to sulk in the fact that the talk got canceled. Now, mind you, they fired her ass 3 years ago because I guess they finally realized that she was racist, discriminatory, and bigoted, even though most of us knew that the whole time. But anyway, she was open and honest about her racism and bigotry. So CBS was forced to fire her. And so now she's telling her friends that the show got what it deserved, and she's gloating over the fact that the show has been canceled. She pretty much is saying, "Oh, once y'all fired me, this show went to hell in a handbasket." And yeah, fuck y'all and fuck your lives. Cheryl Underwood, you and your gums can go and find your ass another job. You and your gums and your bad wigs can go find you a job nowhere somewhere else. Cause I'm living off my husband's money. That's what she said. Hey, Monk Chip. I don't know what to tell y'all. The woman has been racist and bigoted the whole time, but she told Cheryl Underwood, "Bitch, you and your gums, fuck you and fuck your life. I don't give a shit about you or your gums. Take your gums and your bad wigs and find you something else to do. Cause I got money, and I don't think you got the kind of money I got." I'm just telling you what the woman said. Don't look at me. Now the woman ain't shit. Let's be clear. Sharon Osbourne ain't shit. She ain't never been shit, never will be shit. Her husband ain't shit. Her children ain't shit. Her mammy ain't shit. Her daddy ain't shit. Everything about her ain't shit. But you ain't have to talk about Cheryl Underwood's gums and bad wig like that. You ain't have to do that. This woman got to try and find a job somewhere. You ain't have to do that woman like that. Talk about that woman's gums and bad wigs. I don't listen. Xavier, that may be true, but Sharon Osbourne said once y'all fired her, the show wasn't gonna be shit, and now she's gloating. Man, we don't like you anyway. Go your ass to hell and leave Cheryl Underwood and her gums alone. Okay. Mama out here looking for a new job. Somebody need to go over there and hire Cheryl Underwood. Anybody got a job for Cheryl Underwood? Because that woman gonna need a job somewhere. I ain't gonna even lie. She do need a job somewhere. I'm just saying. Make sure y'all got room for her gums. Anyway, go with God, ma'am. Go with God. That's fine as Craig David. Craig David been around for a long time. I loved his first album with "Can You Feel Me In" and all of that. Yeah, that was a good album. Great album. He's on record saying that he's been celibate for 2 years, and now his creativity's off the charts. Sir, we ain't heard from you since you released your single and video 7 days, and that was like almost 20 years ago now. Your creativity's off the chart, sir. We don't even a lot of the young kids don't even know who you are, sir. You had one good album, one, and your creativity, sir. You could have came and got you some from me, and you still would have been where you are now with nobody knowing who you are, sir. I know who you are, and I sure would have gave you some if you just was being celibate and you needed some. I could have helped you out. I'm just saying, it's a lot of people that could have helped you out, sir. They say he's a big thing in the UK. I guess. Okay. Well, he's from the UK, so I mean, he's from England, so I mean, I guess it makes sense. But over here in the States, he's going on tour. He say he coming to Vegas. He was supposed to be at the Lovers and Friends festival that got canceled, so he's already here. But he said he's gonna stay over here and do some tours. They won't be lining up, sir. They won't. They won't. These kids nowadays don't even know who you are. They don't, sir. Um, yeah, yeah. He can start an OnlyFans, and then you might make some money. Yeah, start your OnlyFans. Let us see what you got going on over there, and then we'll see what we can do. You right, Gabby. Just tell him to start an OnlyFans. You never heard of him? Yeah, you too young, Kelly Hans. I mean, his first album came out, I want to say maybe '01. like somewhere around there. His first album is over 20 years old. Somewhere around there, I think it was. It was early 2000s. His first album came out, and that was the only hit album he had here in the States. He was real big over in London. I mean, in England, where he's from, and in Europe. But over here, he had that one album. It was a good album. I'm Walking Away was a good song. I'm walking away from the trouble in my life. It was a good little song. He got that album that made it big over here was real good. But sir, that's the only album you got. That shit is like 20 years old. And the young kids have no idea who you are. Just stay over there in the UK. They canceled the concert. I'm sure they're gonna pay you some coins. Just take your little coins and go back over there to Europe, sir. And go ahead and get you some. If you want, while you're here, I can come over there and give you some. Because you ain't got no business talking about, oh, I don't need to have sex. It's helping my creativity. No, it's not. It's not. I promise you, it's not. You busting somebody down is uh, is not, or not busting somebody down is not helping with your creativity. Now he should do a song with Sexy Red. I would like to see him and Estelle. Um, that would be a good collaboration. You be my American boy, American boy. He has 7 studio albums. There's only one album that got any appeal over here in the U.S. Sir, we have nothing for you, sir. Go get you some. Go get you some dick, some pussy, some ass. However you swing, go get you some. And sir, I promise you, it ain't gonna do nothing to your creativity. Go with God, sir. So, that right there is Christian Woods, who is a basketball player on the Los Angeles Lakers basketball team. Well, apparently he has been given sole custody of his 10-month-old son and has been granted a 3-year restraining order against Instagram thought his baby mama Yasmin Lopez. According to court documents, this happened last week in Los Angeles Superior Court. They gave him a temporary restraining order against you know, the thought. And back in March, he claimed that he showed up at his house in February with a group of her friends. He claimed that she climbed his fence and gained access to his Mercedes Benz and stole it from him. He also claims that she vandalized his car by making deep scratches all over it after she drove it around the city. In his filings, he said that she opened the door to another door and was seen walking around. She opened the door, she came in his house and started, walking around his property when he wasn't there. A neighbor called the police because they thought it was an intruder. Officers arrived and arrested her. He's he said that he was instructed by police to pick up his son at her friend's home. He said he went over to the home, but her friends met him with aggression and didn't want to give him his son. It was a whole mess. He claimed that the friend refused to give him his son Kobe, and he said that the friend made allegations against him and misrepresented the facts to the media just to gain favor for his baby mama. Listen, you knew what you was dealing with. I don't know why y'all be going and getting with these Instagram thoughts and these whole bust downs and thinking that they're gonna do right by you. They are hoes, whores, skanks, thoughts. They are here to get some good dick and to get a baby up in them so that they can then start to take money from you. They know you making millions of dollars in a goddamn NBA, and they are here for the bag. So they gonna get bust down. They gonna make sure you don't wear a condom. They gonna make sure they are ovulating. They gonna make sure they do all of the right things to make sure that they get pregnant, and so that they can have a baby. And now they will be taking, they plan to siphon money from you for the next 18 to 23 years. I'm just telling you what how the plan goes. I don't know why you didn't see that. She got in your DMs, and then you thought you had to made it. Oh, bitch. Oh, you might be cute and all, sir, but she had a plan the whole time. Yeah, they said that the friend was saying he was trying to assault her, and none of that was true. Child. I don't even think it was that he had good dick and turned her crazy. I just think she was a groupie skank, a insta thought, saw an NBA player and said, "Oh yeah, let me go ahead and get in these good DMs, show him this ass, show him these titties, and let him come bust me down." And all that. Sir, we don't have no time for you. Sir, go with God. Suck it, Hannah. Sukiana is into it with JT now from Young Miami. Now people are out here falsely claiming that Suck It Hannah is from Miami. Suck It Hannah is not from Miami. She moved to Miami, but Suck It Hannah ain't from Miami. JT is from Miami. Suck It Hannah moved to Miami. So on, I believe Thursday it was, they started going back and forth. Suck It Hannah went on social media and threw a few jabs at JT. Um, and she quoted lyrics from a song called "Okay." And tried to allude to the fact that JT do the cocaina. She put on her social media quote in a Twitter post, quote, "She pretty than a motherfucker, but she be doing cocaine. Y'all pray for me. Nothing wrong. It's just JT lips used to be so white." End of quote. Um, JT saw it and then responded the next day on Twitter and said, quote, "And to clear the air, suck it, Hannah. You knew I wasn't talking about you. I would have answered quicker if you didn't try to do a 2-for-1 special. I never knew your tooth fell out from eating crab legs. You go viral for stupid shit daily. And to think I'm scared of you when I'm a Zeus subscriber is sick." End of quote. She continued on her rant on Twitter saying, quote, "You definitely was at my party uninvited. Always want to be seen and heard ass bitch. Suck it, Hannah. I've been supporting you, never had an issue with you. So why would I enter a booth and think of you? Sewer pussy." End of quote. She then went on to say, because JT wasn't done, she said, "And for all y'all maggot ass bitches who wanted to stick that clear the air narrative on me, I never got on here asking nobody to clear the air. I said, don't mention me if you were pushing a narrative, but y'all so far up my ass, y'all want to play dumb. I do not give a fuck about y'all hoes. Read this again." End of quote. Um, I, I, I promise you, I don't care. Hey, Mr. Pisces, I promise you, I don't care. I, I don't care about Suck It Hannah. I don't care about JT. I don't care about either one of them. I frankly and honestly do not care. This could have been a hashtag ABC for me. I don't like neither one of these hoes. And with that, we'll have them go with God. Go with God. Oh God, I thought it was about to get better, y'all. I really thought, oh dear, Jesus, dear God, oh God, just Lord, Lord. Raven Simone got words for y'all. She said y'all need to stop sending death threats and spreading misinformation about her wife. That's what she said. She said she wants y'all to stop harassing her wife. Um she went on TikTok recently condemning negative comments and death messages she said her wife has been receiving. The video was posted on Thursday, and she said, quote, I'm here with Miranda, my wife, to tell you to stop it in the comments and stop with the death threats in her DMs. It is disrespectful to her and in turn disrespectful to me. Stop it. End of quote. And then her wife added, it's really become wild. Um They said that the message stemmed from comments she made about not watching her wife on TV growing up. About Raven's Simone's wife said she didn't watch her on TV when she was growing up. When she went on a podcast and said that. Um, I really feel like this is putting 20 on 10. Anybody out here really checking for Raven or her wife? I just want to know. I just want to know. Anybody out here checking for Drake? And or not Drake, oh Lord. Um Freudian slip there. Anybody out here really checking for Raven or her wife? We don't care. I promise you, Raven, we don't care. We really don't. Like, we not checking for y'all. We don't care if you ever watched her on TV. We don't care. I don't believe no parts of no death threats. I mean, maybe it's a loose cannon here or there, but it ain't enough for y'all to be making all of these videos on TikTok and shit. We don't give a damn. Y'all and whatever y'all got going on, I promise you, we ain't checking for you. We ain't people from my generation, we never really cared for you because we saw you for what you were. We saw you as them trying to replace Keisha Knight Pulliam when you came on the Cosby Show. So my generation never saw it for you. You never was on our radar. We never liked you. Maybe the generation after mine might have liked you for That's So Raven, but I ain't like that stupid ass shit either. You always seemed pretentious to me. I never liked you. You always came off as a pick me. You always came off as somebody willing to put on Sambo slippers and do your best step and fetch routine. I never liked you. So you can go over there with the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains. You can go over there and have that woman eat your blocks. You eat her blocks or whatever y'all doing and leave us the fuck alone. We don't give a shit. I'm just saying. Uh, I'm just saying, ma'am. We don't give a damn. Leave us the fuck alone. We don't give a shit. Go with God. Uh, so we have to address this. Okay. Well, we're here. So the people are mad at Tamar because Tamar was asked in an interview, Whitney or Mariah. Tamar said, I don't want to get it wrong. Hold on. Let me get it right. Now I already know y'all gonna say I'm biased because I'm a lamb, but I'm just y'all want me to play the video. Let me play the video for y'all. Hold on. Hold your line. I don't want to quote the lady wrong. So I'm gonna let y'all hear her out of her own mouth. Hold on. Hold your line. Let me get this set up. Okay. Let y'all hear her say it. Cause I don't want y'all to say I got it wrong. All right. Here we go.
Whitney or Mariah?
That was the next one. Funny enough.
Okay. I've never been a huge Whitney fan like that.
As Timon had the T-shirt on.
No, that's wait.
Devastated.
No. Wait a minute. I don't want you guys to take it out of context here. I'm not saying that I don't like her music. I'm not saying that she wasn't a phenomenal singer. I'm not saying her songs wasn't amazing. But for me, because you asked me a personal question, my personal preference will always be Mariah Carey. Period. Whitney or Mariah?
That was the next one. Funny enough.
So that's what she said. Now the people are real upset and all up in the tizzy. Now it's a lot of reasons to like or not like Tamar. Tamar has no shortage of reasons why you should not like her, but these comments are not a reason for you to be like, oh, let's go dog walk Tamar. The woman was asked Whitney or Mariah. Her preference is Mariah. She ain't say Whitney couldn't sing. She just said, I'm a Mariah fan. Both women are phenomenal talents. Both women are some of the greatest voices we've heard in the annals of humankind. The people are up in the tizzy because they said, oh, you being disrespectful to Whitney and all of this. It don't take much for y'all to go in on people. It don't take much. It don't take much. Listen. I'm a lamb through and through. I'm a lamb. But I love Whitney too. I think both of them are, Mariah is phenomenal. Whitney is phenomenal. If you ask me who I prefer, I'm going to say I like them both. But I am a lamb through and through. So I love Mariah and I will fight you about Mariah. But I'll fight you about Whitney too. Why does it have to be? I don't even know why the people are dog, but they are dog walking Tamar. And then it brings back up because when both of these women were alive, some of y'all younger kids were not around during the 90s. You weren't even born during the 90s. I would say from about 92 to about 98, all the way up until when they did When You Believe. There was always the Whitney, Mariah. Celine was, lingering around too. But those were the three big voices. Celine, Mariah, Whitney. Those were the three. But it was always Whitney and Mariah. And I was like, who do you like better? And it was like, why does it even have to be that? They both have songs that I love. They both have albums that I love. Who has a better catalog? I would argue Mariah has a better catalog because she has more albums and has more hits. But Whitney's catalog is also damn near unrivaled and unmatched. I mean, it's going to take somebody the caliber of Mariah to even be in the same breath and conversation as a Whitney. And so they both do things. They both can sing, they can holler, they both can belt, they both can sing runs. Now Whitney is the voice. Whitney is absolutely the goddamn voice, but Mariah is the writer. And Mariah does things with her voice. Dear God above, they both are great. They both are great. I wish we didn't have to wait until When You Believe, because once you got to, by the time you got to When You Believe, Whitney's voice wasn't what it was. If they had done a collaboration, I'm going to say around the time of Bodyguard, if they had done a collaboration around that time, I'm going to say around a 93. If there was a Whitney Mariah collab then, oh, it would have been everything. Oh my God. That would have been everything. That would have been everything. 93? Oh, that would have been everything. But I'm not even talking about Mariah. Mariah without the whistle note. Some of my favorite Mariah songs, she doesn't do one whistle note at all. Because Mariah can flat-footed just say, "Oh, I'm finna sing," and I'm finna sing down. No whistle note at all. Just come here and sing and give you straight voice. Like what? What do you want? Mariah. But if you give me, no, that was Prince of Egypt soundtrack when they did the song When You Believe, Miss Kiki. That came, I think that was what, 99? I think that was 99 When You Believe came out. 98 or 99, somewhere around there. Whitney's voice was already gone. Whitney didn't have the voice no more. She wasn't the voice anymore by that point. Not at all. Mariah's voice was at the point where in that 98, 99 time, Mariah, when you would watch her sing live, you would see her voice had was damaged in the way that Whitney's voice got. If you remember, Whitney after the second album, she had a tear in one of her vocal cords. And between the second and third album, when she went on that world tour, and they forced her to go on that tour, and the doctors told her don't do it. And you can go and look at videos of Whitney on stage back in the late 80s during that tour, where she just couldn't sing at all. And that was because her voice was damaged, and they would not let her get rest. And Mariah went through the same thing around 98, 99-ish, because she had went through years. She had been on tour years and years and years and years, doing like 6 nights a week on stage singing 2+ hours, 6 nights a week. And so it all came to a head like in about 98, 99-ish, where you would hear her sing live and her voice was just like, I just can't do it anymore. It came back on the Charm Bracelet album. Between Glitter and Charm Bracelet, it gave her voice a chance. Glitter was the time she went through that whole exhaustion thing and had that whole meltdown, and she needed to take some while to just go and rest. Charm Bracelet album came after that, and if you listen to her vocals on Charm Bracelet, Mariah's voice is everything. Same thing happened to Whitney. Whitney's voice, Whitney's voice is went through the same thing after that whole situation with between the second and third album. The third album came out, they continued to make her go out there and sing, but she had when she got pregnant with Bobby Christina going into the Bodyguard, she had to rest a little bit. And so her being able to rest got her voice, back, was her vocal cords were able to heal. And and then she went and the Bodyguard, if you listen to all of Whitney's live concerts after Bodyguard, she was singing her face off. Just like Mariah, she went on tour after Charm Bracelet, and if you look at that tour after the Charm Bracelet album dropped, she's probably peak voice Mariah there. Peak voice Mariah. I mean, she was grown. She had grown into her voice. So they both kind of went through the same things, which is why I said about a 93 would have been great. I think Whitney's like 8 years older than Mariah, but still, it would have been great. Glitter was one of the best albums for me. My favorite Mariah album is probably Daydream. Daydream is probably my favorite album, followed by it's probably a tie between Music Box and Emancipation of Mimi because I like both of those probably equally. Um, and then after that, probably the Butterfly album. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I there's room for you to say I like both. Why do we have to fight? They both did things differently. Um, Whitney comes from a church background, whereas Whitney could improv and ad lib off the dome because that's how you get groomed in the church. You got to be able to hear the music and go. And so that's what made Whitney and her ability so great. Mariah didn't come from gospel background. Mariah is a writer, so Mariah knows the music, and Mariah knows, is such a great writer that she could ad lib from that standpoint of knowing the music, knowing the chord progressions, and knowing what the song and can anticipate what the song will do, and be able to do her ad libs and do all of her things, that riffs and things she does from that background. So they both can do riffs, ad libs, runs, everything, but they come at it from two different angles, you know. But there's room to say you like both. But the people are dog walking Tamar, dog walking her because they said she disrespected Whitney. I guess people talk about Mariah and the fact that Mariah, um, now Mariah is what, over 50. The voice, starts to, at some point is going to start to, not be what it was when you were 20 and 30. Because Mariah is, how old is Mariah now? 53 or 54? I think Mariah's 53. No, Mariah's not 55. Mariah was born in, I think, 71. Think, hold on, let me look this up. I think Mariah's born in 71. I'm almost sure. It's either 70 or 71. Whitney's born in 63. I know Whitney is 63. I think Mariah is 70, 71. I have to look it up. Let me see. But you may be right because I've been known to be wrong. Let's see. Mariah is 60. Oh, she was born in 69, so she is 55. Um, and I believe Whitney is 63. I know Whitney is 63. Now that I know. Now that I knew, she's born in 63. Yeah, she's born in 63. So she's but the point that I'm making is there's room for both of them. Hey Greta, happy Cinco de Mayo. There's room for both of them. There's room for both of them. The thing about Whitney's songs, what makes Whitney's songs great is that Whitney can listen to a song and feel the soul and the essence of the song and attack the song from that standpoint, where she can listen to a song and really feel that song and try and explore where the songwriter was going with that, and that comes from her gospel roots. When Mariah attacks a song, she attacks the song from the creator standpoint. She knows what the song was intended to do. She's one of the rare people who can write for herself. So To me, my favorite Whitney album is probably the second album. The second album is the album where it was like, ooh. That's when the second Whitney album, the voice was on full display. She was still a soprano at that point. The voice was on full display. She was singing for the stratosphere. She was giving you the voice, the quintessential voice that we knew. And yet the second album, it was the second album for me. That was the one. That was the album where that's my favorite Whitney album. To me, my favorite Mariah album is Daydream, because if you listen to the Daydream album, it's probably the album that has the least amount of whistle notes for Mariah. And Mariah came on the Daydream album and said, I'm finna flat footed sing, because y'all think I'm just relying on high notes and the whistle, and I'm going to flat footed sing and give you all voice. And she did that on the Daydream album. So that's why I like that album so much. People are going to mix in oh, Whitney's blacker than Mariah and all of this stuff, and I don't think that has anything to do with anything. But who am I? I'm just saying, I love them both. My favorite two Whitney albums are The Preacher's Wife and the second album. The Preacher's Wife, to me, was the good man upstairs saying, listen, I'm gonna give you one last, you ain't gonna get full voice like you used to have late 80s, early 90s, but I'm gonna, dip my finger and let you have a little bit of voice. I'm gonna give you that. The last bit of voice I'm gonna give you is gonna be for this Preacher's Wife album, because it's gospel, and I need the people to realize and understand where you come from, because I think we were robbed by not getting. I think after the second album, if they would have let Whitney do a gospel album after that second album, when she still was full voice, oh, it would have been everything. Whitney's roots is gospel, and every time she sings gospel, I don't care what is going on, the voice comes back. And so I think that the Preacher's Wife album, you got to hear that. Listen, I could listen to Whitney sing I Love the Lord. Shout out to Richard Smallwood. He heard my cry and pitied every groan and sent me on the glory. Listen, Whitney sends me on the glory every time. Every time that woman sings I Love the Lord, he heard my cry and pitied every groan, sends me on the glory every single time. It don't matter what's going on. Every single time I hear it, sends me on to glory. I'm just trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. Every time. But phenomenal singers in their own right. Each one. Phenomenal. Voice that beats Whitney. I'm not doing this with you, Mr. Pisces. I'm not doing this with you, Mr. Pisces. I'm not doing this with you. But yes, Whitney should have done 2 R&B albums and went back to gospel. That's why I say after the second album, they could have given her 1 gospel album and then she could have went back to R&B. But the machine behind her wasn't going to have that at that point. I remember after the second album, Whitney pretty much went stratospheric, because after the second album, I think the second album came out, I think 87. Somebody check me on that. But the second album came out either late 86 or early 87. After that, you had the 88 Olympics when she did One Moment in Time, which sent her to a whole stratospheric level. And then what year did she do the national anthem? Was that before or after The Bodyguard? Let me see. Let's see. Whitney Houston national anthem. That was in 91, which was before she had the one, she sang one moment in time in 88 for the Seoul Olympics. Then came and did the national anthem for the Super Bowl in 91. And at that point, she was, there was not a bigger star on the planet. At that point, she had even surpassed Michael at that point. One would argue, had surpassed Michael at that point. And she went and did Bodyguard, and at this point, they weren't going to have her do anything gospel because gospel wasn't going to move the needle and sell money. She was stratospheric. They were going to capitalize on that. Today has no Mariah, nor Whitney, nor Celine. We don't. Nobody. None of these girls can. They don't have a Mariah Whitney. Even the girls that do have, singing ability, they just don't produce. And you know why that is? They don't have the two things that Mariah and Whitney, there'll never be a Mariah and Whitney because most of them can't write like Mariah can write, so they don't come from that angle, and most of them didn't come from church. A lot of these younger generations, they didn't grow up in the church like you had, like a lot of us did back in the day. So not growing up in the church, they don't come from that gospel roots background either. And so, and even if they did, their gospel music is way different from the gospel music back in the day. Their gospel music is, processed and manufactured and not, baby, take this good hymn and turn it into something, kind of gospel music. And so they just don't have the pedigree that singers had back in the day. They just don't. There are some people who can flat-footed sing, but unfortunately, they're not going to be backed and pushed by record companies, which is unfortunate. The record companies are just not going to push them like they will push the girls who could just ying 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 around the house. They're not going to push. They're not going to be pushed like that. No, and she did. Xavier, she did. Like I said, Tori can sing, Fantasia can sing, but think about the money that backs them versus the money that backs some of these people that just can't sing like that. So I'm not saying there aren't some people that aren't talented, because there are quite a few talented individuals, but you got to remember those girls that we call talented now learned from listening to the Whitneys and the Mariahs and the Celines, where Whitney and Mariah and Celine were just doing it on their own. So, because Fanny can sing her face off, Jennifer can sing her face off, Tori Kelly can sing her face off, Ariana can sing her ass off. Fucking hell, Chrisette Michelle can sing her face off. She can sing all genres, from gospel to R&B to jazz. One of those, and is a gifted writer. So there are people there, but unfortunately, the music industry does not appreciate that kind of talent anymore. Samaria, what's the girl name? Samaria, she can sing her face off. So. Yeah. Structure of today. Also, the song structure of today doesn't give room for people to show off their vocal abilities. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say, Xavier, is that's just not what the record industry is pushing. Because you had fast, up-tempo, upbeat songs back in the day, and the ladies back in the day, and even the men, they still would sing. You want me to do upbeat? I sure will. I'm still gonna give you this vocal. I'm still gonna let you know that that is here. I just think that it still goes to who they're marketing and what the record companies and marketing will do. Remember, if you think about, shoot, what was that, early 2000s? And this is and for my younger viewers who may not know, prior to early 2000s, after Y2K, you had this shift. It was late 90s, somewhere between very, very late 90s, early 2000s. There was this shift where radio companies all got bought out by these big conglomerates. And what happened is where you had independent radio stations back in the 90s and before, you then shifted to having just about all radio stations owned by just a handful of major conglomerates. And then you had the same 40 songs that was played on every radio station all the time. And so there was the marketing machine. So you weren't going to be able to see those people who can go back to the 80s. They can point to people. They're not just going to list the big people like the Shakas, Patties, Arethas, or Anitas. They can go Angela Wimbush, Cheryl Pepsi Riley. They can start to name off all of the Shirley Murdoch, all of the ladies who Deatra Hicks. They can start to name off all of those ladies that they may not have had the big, big, big marketing budget, but you knew their songs because they were being played on the radio, because you had these independent radio stations that would just play this black music. Now, if it ain't being pushed by the big record companies, it's not going to make it on radio. And then what that means, the likelihood of you even, the song making it out there, it's just not. So that's just unfortunate. The very, very, very unfortunate. And then, and that's around the same time you started to see the white girls that started to try more to emulate the black females. And then because these conglomerates own these stations, you started to hear more of these Christina Aguilera's and Jessica Simpsons and all of these white girls that were trying to emulate the black girls on black stations. And what was known as R&B shifted to being known as pop. There was the big shift. So that started the demise and what people call the death of true R&B. Because there was that shift. Because they wanted the white girls to tap into the black market, because they know so goes black music, so goes the music industry. So it's a lot that went into it. It's a whole lot that went into it. Yeah. I don't think Pink. I think what happened was early in Pink and Christina Aguilera's career, record companies tried to push them down that lane. Pink kind of fought it, but when Pink fought that, Pink's success and marketing kind of went away. She already had enough fans that kind of stayed with her, but she didn't have the machine behind her anymore. Christina's a little different in that Christina was a little Hispanic girl who the machine tried to whitewash and tried to make people think was white, and she never was. And so there was that. But yeah, Pink always kind of did her own thing. Like, Pink was one of those where you try to put her in a box and she's going to fight to get out of the box. That's just what it was. You try to put Pink in a box, she said, "Nah, I don't like boxes." Mm-mm. Yeah, we know. I mean, Christina, her last name is Aguilera. I mean, she's Hispanic, but the record companies wanted to whitewash her and make her appear to be white when she really wasn't. And she was comfortable playing that role from being on the Mickey Mouse Club. Remember, she was on the Mickey Mouse Club. So She comes from Disney, so she was used to whitewashing herself anyway. So yeah, shout out to these phenomenal singers, both Mariah and Whitney. Um, yeah, two of the greatest voices. And the thing about it is, um, there's one thing to have talent. There's another thing to have a to have to be distinctive in your voice. When you hear Mariah, you say, "Oh, that's Mariah." When you hear Whitney, you go, "Oh, that's Whitney." It's talent along with that extra special, they call it the X factor, but they always had that extra special something that made them like, oh yeah, there's a difference. There are a whole lot of talented people, but then this is different. And that's kind of what you're missing from a lot of the talented girls nowadays. When you heard their voices, you couldn't deny them. Like it was like, oh no, 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 no. This is different. You can't deny this. Um so it was "Don't Let Me Get Me" song when Pink addressed what happened at LA Reid. Um Spanish is different, tends to be more Anglo. Oh, the whole Braxton singers can sing. Yeah, they can sing. hmm Stage presence Mariah, Whitney, Celine knew how to put on a show and connect with the audience. Well, you remember, um, record companies would make sure that those artists were, had stage presence. They had training. You can call it grooming, you can call it whatever, but the machine groomed them. There was a stage presence. There was a certain look. Even when they went on and did interviews, they practiced them on how to do interviews and what to say when you walk out of the limousine, how to position yourself, posture. Even the old school girls, if you go back to the Motown days, they had people that taught and groomed them how to do that. A&R is the lost art nowadays. They don't do that anymore at record companies because they figure, oh well, we got streaming and we'll just let that just be what it is. But A&R is lost nowadays. It's just lost. Anyway, now we got artists that have stage fright. Exactly, Xavier. Anyway, we got to move on. Y'all know I love these ladies. I could spend the next hour talking about these ladies. Okay, I could spend the next hour talking about these ladies. Why did I click the next button? Why God? Why Lord? Lil Nas X. He's in the news because he's catching flack because he put out a video. Um and in the music video, his love interest is a white boy, and so people started giving him flack about why is it that you got to be with a white boy, and we sick of seeing our black gay artists with white men. So then he came out on his Twitter account and said, quote, "For anybody under the assumption I don't fuck with niggas that look like me because of this video, I want you to know all of my favorite eaters are black. My ex-boyfriend is black. The man I'm currently cheating on is black. And the nigga I'm fucking tonight will be black. Maybe. I love us for real." Well, here's my thoughts. If it's all that, then why is your love interest not black? And I don't now, Xavier or Montrez or one of the people who may know better than me, has any of his love interests been black like him in any of his videos? I'm trying to think. Maybe he did, and I just can't remember. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't follow. I don't follow. I some songs I'll follow of his, but some of it I'll be like, it don't really hit me like that, so I don't really really look at. Trying to think. I know Xavier will know. Xavier, I expect this the kind of stuff I'd lean on Xavier to know. He had Sky Jackson in his music video as his love interest, and his ex boyfriend Yai was it. Now the ex boyfriend people are saying was biracial, so they said that don't count. I'm just telling you what the people said. They want him to be black, like you black, and your mama, your daddy black. They want that. Um, I thought the Yai guy was biracial or mixed race, multiracial. He's Afro Latino. I'm just telling you what the people say. I'm just giving you what the people said. The people said they need more representation of black love. That's what the people say they need. More black love. And let's be clear, I'm sure he has a machine and people, people behind him. And I'm sure it will sell more to the white gay community if you got either lighter skinned or white love interest on your arm. You're more likely to sell a few more albums. I'm just telling you how it goes. Uh, so, oh boy. All the black love is all around. I don't know. I don't know what is what. This feels like people making issues out of preferences. We aren't going to get that out of black, gay, and bi men who are accepted by Hollywood and white media. So we should support black queer artists who actually enjoy their blackness as well as others. We've had this conversation many times over here. We've broken this down. We have really dissected this, and we talked about the machine with the music industry. We could talk about the machine that this is music as well, and we could talk about how that machine also, if you're going to talk LGBTQ plus, they want the numbers, and for them the LGBTQ plus numbers comes from white audiences. So if you're going to be a black LGBTQ plus person, you better be that black LGBTQ plus person that's dating a white man, that is unapologetic about dating a white man, and they don't want any parts of you. If you do date a black man, he better be of a certain hue or a certain color. And I'm gonna just put it out there. Oh, y'all excuse me, my allergies and my nose has been doing something for the last day and a half. My allergies and my nose has been doing something for the last day and a half. I hope I ain't looking crazy on camera. Um, let's just be clear. Why do they want it that way? Because that moves the needle. That helps with their BBC fetish. I can see people saying Yai does not look. Yai looks biracial. He does. Xavier, he absolutely looks biracial. He absolutely looks biracial. I'm just saying. What the people are saying is they want to be able to look at the screen and say unequivocally, here are two black people, two black men together. Period. Ain't no question. Ain't no full throated two black men loving each other. I'm not saying every light skinned man. I'll give you a perfect example. Nick Ash does not look biracial. I think he is, but Nick Ash just looks like a light skinned black man. He's dating what's the guy named Justice Love or whatever. They're dating, both of them are black. But Nick Ash doesn't look Nick Ash just looks like a light skin. He just looks light skin. Nick Ash is the one who was on Queen Sugar. He played what was his character's name on Queen Sugar? I can't think of the name of his character. Um shit. What was his character's name? But he was the son on Queen Sugar. And he's openly gay. He's dating Justice Love. Um God, what was his character name? Micah. Micah. His name was Micah. His name was Micah on Queen Sugar. It was Micah. Um no, he is biracial. But he doesn't look biracial. Yod looks biracial. Um can we talk about how complicated it is dating a black gay man? What does that mean? I don't even understand. I need you to explain that. Hold on, let me do this. I need you to explain that in more context. We need more context for that. We need way more context for that, Mr. Pisces. Because that's a loaded statement. That's a very loaded statement, sir. That's a very loaded statement. Now, I know you are from um Europe, where culturally there's a little difference there. I need you to come up here and add some context to that for me, because in my brain, dating anybody is complicated. White, black, blue, or purple. Hell, dating a white person, dating a Latinx person, dating an Asian person, dating anybody can be complicated. We're complicated people. People are just complicated. I don't think it has anything to do. Now, if you're adding on the pressures, the cultural pressures and the societal pressures that go along with that, that may be something, that you can add context to that. Okay, but you gotta give me more than that, sir. You gotta give me some more on that. Uh-uh. Hold on. Hey, sir.
Hello.
What's going on? You all right
Can
over
you
there?
hear
You
me?
sound like you choking.
No, I'm sorry. No, because I'm in about I'm in the streets.
What's going
Can you
on?
hear me?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, fine. Hello. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday.
So what do you mean? Tell me the what you mean when you say, can we talk about how complicated it is dating a black man?
Well, but you didn't read my other message. I said it's complicated dating a black man in Europe. That's what I
In
said.
Europe, what makes it more complicated in Europe than in here in the States?
Because over there, they're more closet. They're not upfront like you guys here in US. So it's totally different. It's totally different. And majority of black people in Europe, they're descended from Africa. So the background, it's a habit.
So you're talking about the fact that from Europe, especially a lot of in Southern Europe, but a lot of them come over from Africa. The stigma of homosexuality in Africa, the
Yeah,
fact that it is illegal and frowned upon due to colonization in Africa, and so that makes the stigma much more striking. You're saying?
yes, sir. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So that's why it's
interesting.
when you go to Europe, you see more interracial couples than black to black. Like here in US, it's totally different. The dating scene for black for a black man over there, it's totally different.
I think um I think that in the same way they don't want black men to be seen as um
Feminine.
sensitive and or vulnerable.
I have
um they don't want them, because that doesn't fit the narrative of what black men are supposed to be, because they really look at us as not even human, and being human or having some humanity would mean that you are shaped in emotion, vulnerability. So because they don't look at us as being human or having humanity, that cuts into that narrative. So them dating each other would mean, in their mind, somebody has to be the bitch, I guess I would say, or somebody's gonna, be more emotional or vulnerable. And I don't see why any of that has to be the such. I guess homosexuality cuts into that whole notion, because anything homosexual has to be seen as soft, as
true.
and less
When
masculine.
oh my God, what she's doing? She's going the wrong way. Oh, bitch, you're gonna provoke an accident. Oh, sorry. Um, yes, and you're right about that. I had plenty of situations, for example, in where I come from, that black folks looking at me like, "Oh, you embarrassed to our race. How dare you be, you know, gay?" It's really complicated over there. It's, so
Now
sometimes,
that you're here, is your significant other black?
yes,
And do you feel more open to, is he from here or is he from over in Europe?
now here,
He's from here?
yeah.
Okay. And are you all open? Y'all have, and y'all don't have no issues here?
Uh, issues. What do you mean?
Like, do you feel people are
More welcome,
yeah, are you more
more.
welcomed here?
Oh yeah, like to be what I want to be. Like for
What
example, yes, yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Ask me.
Um you say your significant other is black. Are they dark skin or light skin?
It's like me, brown. Well,
Is
you
yours
black.
You kind of light skinned, Mr. Pisces.
Ah,
You kind of light
I'm
skinned, Mr.
kind, I'm
Pisces.
kind, but I'm not. It's because I'm lacking vitamin D, some sun in my life, but I'm not light skin like that.
Well, in my area, Mr. Pisces, people will classify you as light skinned in my area.
Yeah,
Would you
well,
be? Would you go home? Would you go home back to Europe and with her? Have you all been visited back to where you're from and gone there and been
yeah.
open?
Uh-huh. No, I'm always a bit, well, I'm often gay since 27, since my 27 years old. So yeah, 27? No, I'm lying, 26. Yeah, it was when I came out of the closet. But over there, for example, finding not, like here in US, you guys have tons of black culture scenes, black culture scenes. I don't know if that
Hmm.
is correct to say. Over there, you don't, you know.
Interesting.
So you have more, uh, not you're not like forced, but you get around more with white people than black people.
Okay.
It's totally
Interesting.
different. It's totally different. And if you go to Europe, you will see like the gay scene is predominantly white,
Uh-huh.
and it's more easier for us to involve with white people than with black people. It's horrible. When I tried over there with a black person, it was a disaster. It's the family, it's the background. Oh, you guys are disgrace for our race. How dare you, Africans? You're descended from Africans. This is not from us. This is a white people thing. It's such a horrible.
Actually, and that's so far from the truth because in all
I know.
actuality, that whole stigma about homosexuality came from the colonizers.
Yeah.
Homosexuality was a part of the traditional and ancestral black culture
Hmm.
going thousands of years back. Hey, L Love. And so that all came from the colonizers. That all came from the colonizers.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant in a chat.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you came up and
You,
gave your
you, you,
commentary.
was ready to jump on my neck. Oh my God. It was like, you know what, bitch, click this link. Come talk to me because you're trying over there in the chat.
No, I just wanted you to come up and I just wanted you to come up and give us out. I know you have a partner. I knew that your partner was black, but I wanted you to come up because I didn't want people to have that stigma on you and say, "Oh, well, he must be dating a white man." Oh, I wanted you to
Oh,
come up
no.
here and let your
Well,
voice be
over there,
heard
of
so
course, I
people.
dated, in Europe, I dated majority of white people. But of course, like, I was more in their environment. So, yeah.
So proximity is what
Mhm.
led to you dating white people there.
Yeah, because,
Okay.
like, I'm over there, but respect.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay. Got you. I got you. I got you. I hear you. Well, I'm glad you came up and explained it and got to tell the people how you really feel. You
Oh,
going to
thank
Cinco
you.
de Mayo festivities?
No, I don't go no Cinco de Mayo. It's the weather here. It's kind of sucks, but hey, now I'm coming doing some shopping, so I'm going to drop down because I'm going to the grocery store.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, have fun. Thank you for coming up.
No, you're welcome, baby.
All right.
Keep me off,
Well,
please.
thank. All right. So I'm glad he came up. Let me drop the link again because this next story, this is gonna be our last story of the day. But this next story, I may have some of my women's is that may want to come up and talk about this one. So listen, let me just say this to you, Lil Nas X. If you want us to believe that you want somebody that look like you, we want to see it. You can't tell me that you love this and that and that. We need to see it. And we don't believe what you tell us. We believe what we see and witness. So next time, come on and have your love interest be just as black as you are. If it's that serious, I'm just saying. Now, I believe him when he says, hell, I fuck with anybody black, blue, purple, or white. I believe that. I don't believe that he's one of these people that's only, only date snow bunnies. But I think you owe it to the community to have that. So we need to see that. In more people who date white people, news. So I watched the latest episode, and this was the episode that dealt with his mother. And there began the conversation about him. I told you I have to address this show so as to clean this shit up because this is representation of my community and I do need on record for me to have addressed the horrible representation of my community. Um Actually, that's where the term comes from, Jason. That term "snow bunny" was stolen from the black gay community. They've been saying that term going back to like the 40s and 50s in the black gay community, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, um, let me say this about the latest episode. I might not be as critical if there were more episodes like this one. It still had cringeworthy parts in this episode, but it was more in line with conversations that needed to be had. So his mom reaches out to him, and his mom says, "Hey, I want to talk." And so he goes and meets with his mom, and the mom says, "I love you, and I talked to the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit told me that, you're still my son and I still love you." And then his mom says, "Even though I don't agree with it, it would be like even if you were a murderer and you still are my son and I still love you." And he kind of goes off on his mom and says, "You just called me equated me being gay to me being a murderer." And the mom went on to say, even though that's the choice that you made, and he was, corrected the mom. I liked seeing the interaction with his mom here at times better. There were times that even in the conversation with his mom, I thought that he was coming at her too hard. And I think sometimes um I tell people in the community, it takes us, the individual, sometimes decades for us to come to grips with who we are being gay. And so you can't expect the people around you and your loved ones to just flip a light switch and just be like, "Okay, great, everything's fine." Some people do, but you should probably expect that there's a learning curve with that. There's grappling with it, just like you had to grapple with it within your own mind. Your loved ones, especially parents, they takes them, they have to grapple with that. I've heard some black gay men say there aren't enough successful gay black men to date, so they have to go outside the rate. Uh, Listen, let's be clear. Two geeks and a nerd. That ain't true, because a lot of times the white men that they date ain't got shit going on either. Be broke, busted and disgusted. Ain't got two nickels to rub against each other, and they just simply date them because they white and they ain't successful at all. Um, and so that's why I negate that um unequivocally. That's a lie that they perpetuate. Two geeks and a nerd. I definitely think that's a lie that they perpetuate, and they try to just throw that out there for cover. But there's quite a few. There's quite a few phenomenally successful black gay men. So many. Hell, I'm a successful black gay man. So there's the conversation where he kind of forced his the mom has come around. I'll say like this. The mom came around. The mom said that she was going to love him unconditionally, and he told her that's not unconditional love. It's conditional love. And he pushed back on the mom. It was uncomfortable at times, but I do think it was necessary. Um, and hmm, this was a this was a necessary episode. I would venture to say I actually liked this episode. I saw him interacting with his brother and his brother's wife, um, with his nieces. He talked about the strained relationship that he has with his family. His father is there now. He had an episode before last. Um, the last episode was with his best friend Jamar. The episode before that was with his dad, and he took his dad, back to South Carolina, and confronted the dad about having a whole extra family, and the dad wanted no parts of confronting it. They had a whole road trip. So he did. The dad and the mom are still together, even though the dad had got a whole nother family on the other side of town. Um, and when he took his boyfriend to go see the mom, the dad was there because the dad and the mom still together. So the dad was there. The dad seems more accepting and open to him than the mom was. The dad came around before the mom came around. Um, but I think that I'd love to hear. I love my ladies, the mothers that have children in the room. I'd love you to go watch this episode. I think it was episode 6. Hold on. I think it was episode 6. Hold on. Let me look. It is there are yes, it was episode 6. It's entitled Homecoming. Hey Vovo, I didn't even know you was in here. And that's why Gerard is a fool. I wouldn't go that far. I think it's too simple to that's too it's too binary, and it's not a binary situation. It's not a black and white binary situation. Not that easily um explained. I don't know that we can conflate it to the mom is a fool, because like I said, it's layered. Um, he talked about the mom and her, the way she looks at him or addresses him or thinks about him and his sexuality coming from the church, and the fact that he vehemently does not agree with what they sell in the black church. And he talked about the pastors, and how they have latent homophobia and stuff like that. um this is the Gerard Carmichael reality show on HBO, Two Geeks and a Nerd. For the most part, it's a horrible depiction of um black gay men. However, I do, like I said, I think this episode, if the show was more of what we see in this episode, I think it would be good. I if But what he gave us the first up to this is like, it's cringeworthy. His parents' chaotic relationship has soured his idea of loving a black person, so he runs to a white man. He is a product of their foolishness. Um, that could be. I mean, that's possible. That's certainly possible. Um, I think there's a lot that goes into it. I know that I heard someone say that they didn't think that he came from the black experience, and that's not true at all. He was born and bred by two black parents in a black neighborhood. Went to a black high school, had black friends. So he comes out of the black experience. Let's be clear. Um, like I said, it goes into that whole thing of men tend to like things that are exotic when they get money. They want to have things that other people, they think others around them or where they came from can't have. So they go out and buy things like a Rolls Royce or Bentley. And because they think, oh, the people I grew up can't, they everybody ain't got no Rolls Royce or Bentley there. And in the same vein, they'll go and get them a white partner because they were like, yeah, I grew up in the hood in the black neighborhood, and none of my people got white partners like this. So I think it kind of goes into that as well. Um, and I really think that you could tell in the first couple episodes that um the white partner part is really just the sex. It's really just the sex. Um, when he talked about the first time you saw him show vulnerability about him really liking someone, that was the Tyler the Creator part. Tyler the Creator is not white at all. But white people love a black man like Gerard Carmichael. Because he fulfills their fantasy, he fulfills their BBC fantasy. He has a big dick. Um, and he is a darker skinned man. He's lean. And if he was more muscular, he'd be even more attractive. But the fact that he's lean still gives them their fantasy. And he's open to sticking his meat in any hole. He's open to fulfilling all of their fantasies with being able to. I'm sure he allows them to say the N word. I'm sure he allows any and every racial epithet out there. Um, and that's okay with them. He gets a nut. They get their nuts and their fantasies fulfilled, and that's okay. But you can tell it's still fleeting because you can tell he's still longing for companionship. And you can see, even on the show, he's not getting it from the white guys that he's dating. Yana said something. Yana says, wait, here it is. Yana said, I'm a parent of an LGBTQ daughter, and while I'm her bonus mom, having friends and certain YouTube family has taught me so much. While I didn't give birth to her, she calls me about everything, not her. Okay. And I think that sometimes with parents, you do have to understand that, um, especially for your LGBTQ plus child, um, it's important for you to understand that even once they get to the point where they will let you know, there's an incredible amount of mental in a lot of time in a lot of regards in a lot of time there's an incredible amount of mental anguish or mental duress that they've gone through in their own brains to figure out what's going on, even to do that. And parents oftentimes are the first people that a child looks for acceptance, or looks to say that's right or that's okay or give their stamp of approval. And when you don't give that, it's crushing, and it could be devastating. It could be life altering. I'm just being honest with you. Um not having that affirmation from a parent can truly be life altering. And I think that what you should do is, even if you're still grappling with it as a parent yourself, at least allow the space for, if they come in, if a child has that conversation, at least be an adult enough about it to say, okay. And and just not um 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 quench or stifle that person from the very beginning, because so many times, because that parent may be grappling with it or trying to understand it, they'll shut it down from the beginning and lean on what they know, lean on what's familiar, and lean on what they've traditionally been taught. And now you've crushed an entire human being's whole psyche, and now that could have irreparable damage that could send that individual spiraling. Even sometimes the choice in language and words, um like what the mother was doing to Gerard Carmichael, they'll often say, oh, the choices that you've made. And he pushed back on her. He said, well, listen, I spent the most of my life trying not to be this way, or trying to, be straight. And I didn't, this is not something I said I'm going to choose to do this. This is not, because please be clear, I can't speak for every gay person, but I would venture to tell you most gay people, most LGBTQ plus people had fights in their own brain about, yeah, this isn't the right thing to do. Let me just try to figure out a way to go the traditional route. Um, so, what Xavier said, oh God, I'm not doing this with you. Yana says, I am a Christian woman who grew up in and still attend church and can't understand not just loving your children. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. I've always been, people have to understand that God is all about love. And he puts no parameters on who that love. He says, love your neighbor as yourself, period. Full stop. Don't go any further. He didn't say if your neighbor was saved. He didn't say if your neighbor fit into these parameters. He didn't say if your neighbor does this, that, and the third. Love thy neighbor like you love yourself. Full stop. The problem is people are loving their neighbors like they love themselves, and many people don't love themselves. And because they don't fully love themselves, they can't fully love someone else. And because they can't truly love, they don't fully love themselves, and they can't truly love themselves. Now there comes the other side, the opposite of love. Very interesting dynamic. This is for anybody that wants to add commentary to this. I'll give people the opportunity to do that. But I found Goddess of Mindset, I feel sorry for him. I found that this episode has been the best episode of the show. I think this is a good episode to watch because there is the grappling with that dynamic of this mother, whole God-fearing Christian woman who wants no part of her son to be gay, but then has to go back and realize that this is my son. Because how do you reconcile you, God forbid, dying, going up to the great beyond with the man upstairs, and then saying, oh, but I hated my child that you gave me. He even talked about on the episode that I don't think that you can fully understand that your God gave you a son that's gay. Your God mixed your husband's sperm and your egg to make a child that's gay, and you can't wrap your hands around that. You can't wrap your hands around the fact that you, this God-fearing Christian woman, will produce something that's gay, and that bothers you. Let me bring some of y'all up. Hold on. Where are we here? No, here. There we go. Hey, y'all. Hey, Angela. Hey, Xavier.
Hello.
What y'all got?
Okay, so I'll say this. I put it in the chat, but just to kind of go back, I think sometimes people also forget the difference between like and love. There are plenty of things that I do that my mother does not like. right? My mother does not like when I go so many days without calling her. She does not like when the dresses I choose for my drag are not her favorite style. She does not like if the makeup is busted. That does not change the fact that she loves me just the same. And I think sometimes people, especially older people, forget that they can love something and not like it at the same time. Because what ends up happening is the moment you stop liking something, you immediately act like you have to stop loving it. Let me be clear. There are plenty of people who I love out there, and I wish I do not love their drag. Hey, Nymphia.
Oh God. Oh boy.
That's just me being a little messy. The reality is I actually like Homegirl. Now, that is still true for some people out there in real life. But it's just a matter of there's a difference between just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't still support somebody. If you don't like it, cool, don't go to the show. Just ask Homegirl how the show went, and when she tell you it was good, cool, it was great, and move on. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it should be that hard.
What say you, Xavier?
It's not that hard. And you know how we know it's not that hard for this woman in particular? It's because this woman has a cheating husband who has bastard children all up and down the Fruited Plains. She doesn't like that, but she still loves him. And I honestly think that this show is so bad. It's so horrible. It's bordering on exploitation. I feel like HBO should the same thing that we feel like Lifetime is doing to Wendy Williams. This is what they're doing to Gerard Carmichael.
Exactly.
And worse, it's what they're doing to Gerard Carmichael and his entire family. I just don't think that what's going on is acceptable. And I want to go back to I think I said it in the comments. Really don't feel like Gerard has a preference for white men. I think he just thinks that they're easier to manipulate or deal with or treat bad or something, because he treats this white boyfriend like crap.
But it goes back to, if you remember, Xavier, I had the whole commentary when the show first came out about how a lot of these men that they prop up, always talk about, oh, well, I like to date white men because all of the black men I knew, were hating on me or bullying me and think that this, that, and the third.
Man held you accountable for your bullshit.
Well, no, but remember we talked about how most of these same men never came out of the black gay experience. They didn't come out of us. And so what happened was they didn't learn that there is a community of black men that can love you, that can affirm you, that will not bully you. And that's something that we do get in the community of the black gay experience. And so when you skip that process, you then have this damn near perpetual hatred for your own self and your own people, because those are the people who probably castigated you and hated you the most. And so now you gravitate to white men who give this simulation of love when really it's lust and fetishism.
El Teddy, I feel red for filth. And I'm not gonna hold you.
Fetishizing them.
No, I feel red. I feel red to hell. But like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like some of those things are not my experience.
But why do you have to treat the white man bad though?
I don't treat anyone bad. I won't say now that's the difference.
Why does Gerard have to treat the white men bad?
I think that's just because he's a shitty human.
But that's not the thing. I don't think he has any sort of preference. I think he's a bad person on the inside.
He's just a shitty human.
On some real deep shit. Like, gay straight by, you
Hold
are
on.
bad. Like, what's wrong with you?
Goddess of mine, what say you?
Like that.
Oh, hey everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
So like the thing about Gerard, and it kind of like first it'd be like, oh, it's like so cringe, but it's so cringe and it's so sad. Like the first thing that I was introduced, because I didn't even know that this boy was finna do a reality show, but like all around like LA, Mid-City, Hollywood, they have the billboards of him in his underwear. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know that agenda. He's the fun toy boy. He's the black boy at night. he be dancing around for them, cooning and shucking and jiving.
Mhm.
Like, that's what the billboard. That's the whole thing of what I saw on that. When I watched, like, I couldn't even watch the episodes, but I like skimmed through it. It was giving me Gerard, bless your heart, baby child. You cannot read the room. These these white men and all this stuff, baby boy. But maybe you can and you don't care.
Mm.
And then
Care.
also, and like him coming like at Tyler and like putting him on the spot, there is a time and place for everything. If y'all had that conversation previously, there was no need to do it in front of the camera. You just wanted to do it so then people can feel sorry for you. So you can be like, see, I did try to date a black boy, but they don't like me. Gerard, he's very much like, I call him like, he's very much a ham. Like, he's very much like, boy, I can see right through you. He purposely puts himself around white people. He gives me that he don't have no friends that are black, like no like black girlfriends, anything. Like no.
I'm not going to say that he doesn't have black friends, I think, because he does. I think that his narcissism plays into the BBC worship that these white men will give him. So it's all self-serving. Even the show is self-serving. Most of the people on this show want no parts of being on camera. They will engage with you and have a conversation, but you could tell they would much rather do that off camera. But you would rather, in your narcissism, only want things on your terms. And because you only want things on your terms, that's why you got to throw a camera in front of everybody. And that's why it's much easier for you to go to the white people who will serve your need for your narcissism.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
Hello, everybody.
Bad for the white people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Prodigy's lawyer, how are you?
Good. I'm sorry, my computer was acting a fool.
Oh.
I tried to connect it on my computer. That's why you saw the bag dropping, and I just was frozen. But I was agreeing with just about everything y'all were saying. My thing was, I think it's just very simply some Nick. Well, let me not say that word.
Nigga.
No, on LCD channel, please.
Say it the way Drake.
Just to make sure. But on YouTube, let me not do it on YouTube. But certain people, some black men, just want to be, raccoons. I have a feeling that was just something he wanted to do. He enjoyed it. He liked it. And just like his parents, he does not want to have any introspection whatsoever. Hold up.
Can I ask a question? And this is from the perspective of somebody who dates outside of my race, but it's solely proximity based.
Okay.
Right. Where I live, there is 3% of us. And in that, what I mean is, out of the population who's here, there's 10% who are black, 3% of them are gay, and 1% of them, of those black people, are out and gay. Right. So I date and deal with a lot of white guys, and sometimes people give me shit and like, oh, you look after white people. It's not even that. It's just a matter of that's what's there.
Yeah, there is a proximity thing.
I'm asking, is it a situation where he is in proximity? That is his proximity availability.
No,
that's not his. That's not his situation.
His proximity, and he goes out the way to find that he's on.
Got you. And that's why I asked. Like, I have no problem being wrong. I have no problem asking questions. That's why I say I'm asking. Now that I know that, got you.
From like, where's the boyfriend live? Doesn't he live in like Idaho or some?
Well, that was the old one. I think this is the new one now.
See, and the crazy thing is, he's in a place that's so diverse when it comes to race, ethnicity, nationalities, and yet he's still choosing specifically white. That's the thing that really like sticks out in particular. On top of doing this race, like just race play, just very racist display of sexual gratification.
Got you. Now I like to play devil's advocate. Is it possible that we only see the white ones? Like,
no,
it just doesn't get that far.
That's the only ones he's shown. So that's the only ones
he's shown.
Got you. And like I said, I don't know. I will ask the questions. I'm not here to like fight for nobody.
If he is dating
I ain't
others,
Miller for nobody. I don't know. But
If he is dating others, he doesn't show. And let me add this
And
angle
no one
to it.
said anything about it.
Let me
It
add
like
this.
really gives me that he be like sleeping with like the down low man, because in LA the down low, it's like it is over. There's a lot of down low men. He give me like he'll mess with them, but he won't have them in like front of the camera, and he won't be seen with them. But he be
he like Trey. Got it.
Why
yeah,
isn't
Trey,
That's
Trey,
probably
thank
why he
you.
liked Tyler the Creator.
Yep,
I
exactly.
mean, but Tyler the
Well, that's
Creator
the
is not
part that I was going
Trey.
to add. I think the difference is that I really don't see it that way. I think the reason that the Tyler the Creator part came
Tyler is
was
white passing.
because he and Tyler the Creator were actually really friends.
That's true.
And there's the difference where these white people just fulfill your sexual desires, but in order to be with someone, it has to go beyond the sexual desire. There must be the ability to have attractiveness to the personality, to be, to start to be one with that person. And because this person was authentically his friend, and he knew he was also bisexual and is an attractive man, he wanted to, see if what could go along with that. And that's why if you look at the first 2 minutes of when Tyler the Creator sat down with him, which edited to about the first 45 seconds, Tyler the Creator was very honest with him. He said, listen, you my bruh. We bruhs. I don't see you like that. We are bruhs. And I hear you. You got all of these cameras here. We could have had this conversation. He kind of told, because even when he walked in the room, he said he looked around and said, "Well, wow, I got more cameras here than eh, It was just so off-putting. And then this is somebody who you said is like your best friend. Your best friend is not looking for you to say, "Oh yeah, let's be in a relationship." So that was kind of
Especially on camera.
off-putting. Yeah, right in front of that, it was kind of off-putting. So, and then that's when, okay, you got these cameras, you want this shit show. Well, let me give you the three
Let me
ring
give you a
circus.
show.
I'm gonna go out here and fart. I'm gonna go out here and order food. You know what I give when the cameras come on. You really want me on camera? All right, then well, let's do it.
I think also
But
the
he
fact that
told him,
it's
"You're my bruh. I don't see you like that."
I think it's also the fact like I don't mess with your kind. I'm sorry, like that's what we don't mess with each other like that. Not just
Yep.
as friends, but just we don't mess with other black folks.
He said he
Like
wants
that.
a big house, fill him up with Dylan Sprouses and Leos. That's like a Tyler line, like a big house with Dylan Sprouses and Leos. Like Leo
You
DiCaprio,
know,
his types. He like the like wafy, like white boys, like they like those like pretty boys.
He like clean cut. He likes non-hood. He likes the juxtaposition
no,
of
he likes white because I've seen some of the
Like
white boys.
white,
They don't look clean
really
cut
white
at
boys.
all.
they might not look it, but I promise you their mama house and their grandma house is giving coined.
Yep.
Because they can appear with him, but when they go home, they know exactly what it's giving.
I mean, I would say this. If I keep saying, if this episode was what the show was, it would be a good show. But what we've had up to this episode has been a fucking shit show.
But I wanted to.
And I say that because going back to what you said earlier, Angela, about his proximity to whiteness, every time we see him point back to who he grew up with, how he grew up, everything about he grew up in a black town, black high school, black friends, black everything. And so now you're choosing to say, yeah, let me go this other route, which lends itself to what I said earlier about not you may be having this thing in the back of your mind that everything you know about black men is hatred and bullying and castigation and not affirming.
Can I
and
offer a different side of that?
Mhm.
Because my experience was the one where I had to unlearn my dislike of black men. I did. Growing up, I was the nerd. I was the Pokemon kid. Like I was the Pokemon kid before Pokemon was popular. I was pretty effeminate before it was popular. I was also consistently in a place of being above people because I went to a school where I was really, really smart, book smart. My grandmother founded the school and my mother was in charge of the checks. Nobody could say shit to me. I grew a dislike for people who disliked me. It took me a while to realize they didn't dislike me because I was a nerd. I mean, some of them did. Like, I'm not gonna act like that didn't happen. It took me a minute to acknowledge that most of them disliked me because I couldn't relate. I wasn't ever in positions where I could relate to the people my own age, but I got along with the grown people just fine. And when I took that into my adulthood, it made it very comfortable to get along with other white people and other people who weren't black because I didn't understand black culture at 18. Certain things didn't make sense. It felt like disrespect and hate when it really wasn't. And so, unfortunately, I leaned into other people. Now, I have since learned better, and I'm working on it. I'm not gonna act like I'm like saved and delivered. I'm not delivered, right? But I've learned better, and I'm working on it. But I sometimes when people make that argument, I can kind of understand because when you grow up with the people you want to be loving disrespecting you at every turn, it makes it hard to look at them and think to myself, this is who I want to spend my life with.
But see, that's the thing. That's why I don't give no room for people like Carmichael. Because let's be clear, even in the Black queer community, you are far more marginalized than he is, and you still offer far more room, far more love, and far more understanding than he ever did.
But that's because
he ever does on his own show. And on top of that, it's one thing to be, you have to want it. You're going when you want it, you're going to show it, especially when it's your own show. Mind you, this is not the HBO of yesteryear. I know full well why would HBO, especially this type of HBO, where they're owned by Discovery, would greenlight a show like this when they've been canceling every other Black show up there, except for the one that's been giving them so many ratings.
Well, we went through that. We went through why HBO was doing that when we broke down this show from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
They are going this. He
knows
the mold of what they want.
Of
course, he knows that.
So that's
He's going to play on it.
I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, there's a part of him that has to be a business person in his job, right? Let me make sure I keep earning my coins. Let me play to it. Then there's
this
a side
is not
of
his job.
I mean,
he was a writer. He was a comedian. He was an actor.
Right.
A reality star was not something that you see these people usually do. So, especially at this time in their career, like he should be writing scripts. He should be pitching shows.
I mean, I agree with you. He should definitely be.
And if you're the type of person that's going to do this type of, let's be clear, very anti-Black type of, very anti-Black, specific to Black gay men and Black queer men, type of the show and depictions of your own life for coin, if that's really what it is, instead of him just showing his own life, he just doesn't have good discernment of what's really going on and how Black queer people will actually see this, if he even cares. If you're that type of person, you have the greed, you have the sin of greed all up within you. That's the demon.
I feel like
that's not okay.
I agree. I feel like, and because I've been through it, I feel like I wish there was a way. I wish he had have approached it differently. I wish he would have approached it in a way that it would have even made sense where I could fully defend and be like, hey, look, I've kind of lived a similar, not exact, but similar experience. But I agree. The way it came off was just kind of like, oh, I don't want them niggas. I only want these people over here. And for me, that's not the case. I've never thrown away anybody. It's just been what's available to me. And it also took somebody actually loving me enough to pull me aside and be like, look, bitch, what you saying is kind of out of line, right?
And that's why I went back to from the beginning saying you see this a lot of times where in some of these states I'll give you a perfect example. You hear people who live in a Dallas or Houston say, oh, I'm from rural Texas because I needed to get out of there because it was just that bad. Or people who live in certain parts of like an Alabama and say, hey, I just had to move to Atlanta because I understood that this was just not going to be the place to affirm me. And then you go and you realize that, okay, there are people who can affirm me, love me. Really, I can see images of myself authentically being themselves, authentically loving on each other, start to really learn about who I am, my culture, what
Mm-hmm.
what I've been missing, and it becomes a great thing. But sometimes that's not possible for everyone, and then in other cases it's just skipped where
That's
it
fair.
is possible, and you just don't want that experience. And I think for him, he just doesn't want that experience because the our culture here in these yet to be United States of America tells him that, oh yeah, blackness is less than,
That's fair.
and to go be a part of the gay black community, that's a double less than.
The last he
Do
thought.
you think if he was younger when he came out, this conversation would still that he would still have this same attitude?
No.
I
No,
don't
because
know.
mine would be different if I had been younger when it came out. I mean, I can't speak for him specifically, but I feel like no, because once I discovered it, now granted, I discovered it and I loved it, and I got excited to learn about our community.
I,
But there
I
was a part of me in the beginning that was like, "Oh, girl, you might want to stay away from this. You know, do you really
I
want to
will
be one of them people?"
I will say because I'm bi, so I can't really. It's different, of course, because I've been able to show my sexuality at least on one side. But I knew from a young age what I was, but I planned to come out after high school. So I think it's probably different for me. But from the other bi and pan folk and gay folk that I've met who are older, I do have to say the ones who come out younger, I think just because the fact that they're younger, more open to change, are it is easy for you to talk to them and be real about, look, you can be, you if you want to be a sexual object for many of these white people and you want to be this fetishized person and you enjoy that, do understand most of us ain't rock with it. And they'll actually want to change because they'll not want to put that energy, that information, and that type of lifestyle out there for other Black queer folks to like. They don't want to be perceived or seen or want to do that type of stuff. Versus older, where they more into whatever they're into, they're going to do what they do. They already came out. Sometimes might sometimes feel like they already did most of the work. So I think it's a bit it's different, and also you're talking about different generation because how much older are you talking? He's a millennial. You're talking about Gen Z, and Gen X is different. So it depends. That depends. Shoot, there's
Mm.
Gen Alpha that are out right now. Like I said, it depends.
I understand. I think he's like 30 some years old. I feel like if he had came out and like when he was like 19 or 20, he might be better well adjusted because I feel like he
Mhm.
stayed in the closet too long and that he doesn't know
Um,
how to operate.
no, because a lot
I
of
don't
them girls from
know.
Drag Race sure are the same way. They've
I
been out for
mean,
a long time now.
I think one
He
thing
didn't
that's not
stay in the
talked about.
closet for so long.
I
This is
think
like
one,
30
yeah.
years
I mean,
in the making.
I came out at 22, right? I feel like one thing people don't talk about is when you come out, there's this weird mentality where you kind of go back to being 18. Like I hate to say it, like you know better because you're older, but like there's these things you want to do that you never experienced, and it's this weird mentality where like I was 22, but I definitely did some 18-year-old shit with a 22-year-old mentality, and it was very awkward. Honestly, I hated every second of it and wish I could have gone back and came out at like 12. And I feel like life would have been fine. But yeah, when you wait, the shit is awkward. Like there's this weird like 3 month period where you don't know what the fuck to do and you make some real interesting choices.
But that's why I think that part of this is the narcissism. Like I said, it's not about his proximity to whiteness because he's black. Let's be clear. He comes
Period.
from the black experience. He grew up with black parents. He grew up around black people. Even if you look at his writing, well, yeah, he's black. He can write for a black audience. I just think that once he came out and it, white people are going to worship at the feet of the BBC, and that can feed into that narcissism. Like you can even see on this show, he has this air of narcissism and arrogance about him, not just with who he dates, but just with how he carries himself, and different. And he even alludes to it. Even there have been times where he've alluded to when things happened with production, and he would go to production and say, "No, that's beneath me," or "That's I
Mm.
don't stand for the." And so I think
Mm.
that I think that it's easier for him to go down that road with the white community. So he thinks.
And he know full well black queer people, we gonna humble you real quick. So that's not even.
But they gonna
That's
humble
not.
him quick too, because as soon as you're no
Oh, they
longer the
will.
hot thing in
It just
town,
won't be
you're
loud.
gonna be
It'll be
disposable.
silent
It'll be
and behind
quiet.
his back.
It will be quiet, but I will say the humbling. I won't hold you. I would prefer to get humbled by the black people out loud. No shade.
Because when they do it, it's gonna go. It may have life altering effects. Because they're going to weaponize their tears.
Yeah.
They're going to weaponize the fact that you're black. And oh yes, it will be
they
all
humble you,
of that.
want hell.
And there will be no
I'm gonna call it
redemption.
right now. I'm gonna call it right now. That little white boy is getting prepared to come on Twitter with a whole Twitter thread talking about how I was abused by this narcissist, Gerard Carmichael. He cheated on me, mental abuse, blah blah blah. He about to be the new Diddy if he don't stop.
You
what
mean the
he's
new
doing
Kim
now.
Kardashian? I mean, anyway.
Oh, blue. Two geeks and a nerd. What
Hello?
say you?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I was debating about coming up, and then this comment that El Teddy made me come up, and it
What did I
reminded.
say?
Oh, when you were talking about, just dating the white guy and being around, really everybody was talking about it, but it made me because I recently I didn't watch the whole interview. It's an old interview, but it was Stephanie Mills was in the interview, and they had asked her about dating Michael Jackson. And she had mentioned his mentality was she saw part of the reason why they broke up. She saw where his mentality was and where he was going. And he had the idea that, well, she said he only dated or for a while was dating white women because it was going to look better and expand his career. He wanted even behind the scenes to deal with certain white people that she didn't want to deal with because she said she could never crossover because the white people were telling her like MTV and VH1 she was too hurt, so they wouldn't take or play her video. And she was saying again that Michael wanted to mess with certain white people. He thought this was going to expand his career. And then that goes back to the comment I put in there where I said I've heard some gay black men say, well, there's not enough successful gay black men, so I date a white guy because it's more successful than white guys. So I think there is a
I get
obvious
that. I think it's within certain genres. So maybe they may say that in entertainment, but or in certain fields. But to say just blanketly there aren't a lot of successful black gay men, I think is untrue. Now, like I said, maybe you say, well, there aren't enough actors or entertainers, or
Why do you have to date an
maybe
actor? Why do you, that
I'm
to me
saying if
sounds
that's
so
what you're
ridiculous.
going for, but to
But
say
why
that
are you
there aren't
going for
enough
that? That
successful
is.
people.
But even that idea, you only want to date within a certain social class. That's classist.
Because you have no problem dating up.
There was
exactly.
That's not enough.
It's given prostitute. It's given social climber. It's given.
I mean,
now to be fair,
I don't know because somebody with a certain credit score may not want to date you and your 465
that
credit
part.
score.
I'm like,
I'm just saying.
Because no shade. Regardless of what job you have, like, are you going to find the person who takes temp jobs every so often? Like, I don't know where you stand in terms of jobs, but say you have a decent 9-to-5. Are you going to take the person who takes temp jobs every so often whenever he feel like it and the rent almost due? Is that attractive to you?
Well, no, not to me, but I'm a gold digger, you see. So.
Period.
She said, I know game.
You know what?
I know what's up.
Xavier, you're my favorite person, period.
But I would like people to be just honest about that. Like, don't say
gold
that.
Digger.
Just say that I'm a gold digger looking for gold and you don't got it. That's perfectly fine. But you want to. But you're. But see, when I say that, I'm making the problem me and my choices and my preferences and what I have to do. You saying I don't date black men because they're not enough black men successful. That's making And
Yeah,
their problem, and
that's
it's
not
really
a
a
true
you
statement.
problem.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, you know
And see,
what?
and
I'm with
that's why,
you. I'm with you, and you're right.
and that's why I will always respect someone like a Santana, even though he don't do nothing like that, or a JT or a Carisha, though I don't like them at all, compared to a Carmichael or well, I'm not gonna say everybody name, but many them WeHo LA gays. I respect them far more because at the
You mean
very least,
Todrick? We
they'll
don't like Todrick. I'll say that.
yes, that the thief. Yes.
Oh,
They're not they're going to own up and say, yeah, I want to date somebody with money. Just say it. Don't lie. Cause now I'm gonna be like, okay, we see your anti-blackness. You playing this punk little the black people are the problem, not me type of game. And that's what turns people off.
And I think the difference is there's a difference between I want to date somebody who's going to help me be in positions that will help me out versus I only want to date the palm color people who are going to help me out, right? Because no shade, me personally, I want to date somebody who will help me out. And what I mean by that is I at least want a man who going to want to drive me to my shows because I be tired after the show. I don't want to drive
you know
after a
what?
drag show.
You know what?
Look, okay, look. I need to date up a little bit. I need somebody who likes to drive. He ain't gotta be white or black. I don't give a damn. Will you
So
take me
your
to my
litmus
show?
test is: do you have a valid driver's license and a good car?
At this point, correct. Look.
But see how ours makes sense? Gerard
Right.
doesn't make sense.
Like I randomly was hanging out with some of friends when I was in it was Black Pride in DC. It was last year, and one of his friends randomly, I didn't know, he was a superintendent of a whole city, major city. I'm not gonna say what, but a major city. I said, oh, with his husband. Okay, oh, cool. I didn't know that. You gonna say that he's not? There were so many people. I didn't know. I was like a lawyer, this or that, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know. They were telling me jobs that I didn't know anything about. This is cool. I wouldn't know this. Well, I'm glad I came. You mean to tell me that there's none of them, over 100 people that I see or met who do amazing things? None of them you would want, as beautiful as they are, as smart as they are, as maybe some might be good people, bad people, whatever. None of them are your type of thing, but you will go for these white folk who are in the race flag. Oh, okay.
Well, I think the question too is, do people know what success is?
Well, then there's that.
That part.
The other part that's so disgusting to me is you even force some of the racism and bigotry on the white people, because some of the white people have been like, I'm not really into that, and I could tell he's into that and will try to force them into. I could very well see him saying, telling his boyfriend to call him the N-word. He'd be like, I don't really do that, and he'd be like, no, I need you to do that for, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would want it, and the white person would be like, that's not my thing. I don't really agree with that.
Saying the white man's going to come out and expose his ass, and there's going to be a whole Twitter thread and a lawsuit.
It's definitely giving that.
Yeah. But hey, if that's the bed if he wants to be in a bed of fleas.
Gerard is at the beginning of his career. He's not at the middle. He's not a rising star. He's at the very beginning. He's had one successful show. One. And that got canceled after 3 seasons. He is not Shonda Rhimes. You can't bounce back.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know what he's going to do when it happens? Big to us.
Because didn't Shonda Rhimes do Boston PD or whatever? Or one of them old shows?
She was on she was a writer on what's the show with Chi McBride and Loretta
Grey's
Devine?
Anatomy.
No, before Grey's Anatomy. This was Boston Public.
Boston Public,
writer on Boston Public.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Boston.
Shonda Rhimes was out here doing it long before Scandal, but I'm not gonna act like Scandal is not when I learned that. Scandal is when I learned that lady's name. Period.
I knew her name when she did Private Practice.
I didn't see.
She was a writer on the Practice.
Writer of that too. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
who, but that's what I'm saying. Keep working. You never know when the shit gonna hit.
He's going to advance his career.
And don't sell out.
This is why I think this reality show is just a bad idea all around. He shouldn't be. He should be working on his craft. He should be showing his artistry. This isn't it.
He hasn't built enough to have. He hasn't built enough, at least personally for me, for first off for me to be that invested. Other than you being black and gay, me be that invested in docuseries. Tyler could have. I would have watched it. You know, even though I
Period.
don't like him, I would be far more invested. Though don't care for him for his, his mess and
But
his
here's what's about to happen. I told y'all what's about to happen. This reality show, while we as black people, and especially the black gay community, will vilify it, the white gays are loving
love
it.
it.
It
Are
is
they
going
though?
to sweep award season, and it's going to validate everything that he's been doing. So while we may know and believe that this is awful, he feels validated.
Are
He's
they
going to make
though?
a ton of
Because that Real
coins
House,
and win a lot of awards.
that
I
bullshit
don't
they
think this
gave us
shit show is
last.
getting a lot of ratings.
I was gonna say, is it because that shit show they gave us last year during Drag Race did not do well either? When they had
Which one?
Todrick and a bunch of them other white passing and white gays all over it.
Not white passing, but like
What was it? Real Friends of Holly WeHo or whatever?
Oh, that
that's
was
not the same.
awful.
I mean, it's a
Not even
reality
white people
show.
like that.
Do the white people like this man show either?
Oh yeah,
Like,
they do. They like him
do.
flying around. They
Oh,
they
damn.
love
I
the
don't.
shit. Go look at the critic. Go look at the critics
They
review.
Yeah,
enjoy
but the critics and the ratings are two different things. You could be
But
critically
what
acclaimed and have bad ratings.
HBO isn't here solely for the ratings. HBO wants to know: are you bringing gold to us?
Yeah,
Are you
HBO
bringing
they ain't worried about
awards?
ratings.
They want to be groundbreaking. They want to say, yeah, because what they're going to do is they're going to market the fact that, oh, here's the most awarded show that you all aren't watching. Come watch our show.
Because let's
Which is
be
why you
clear.
see a lot of their shows. The first season doesn't have big ratings.
Right.
It'll get a ton of awards, and then what happens? It'll blow up seasons
Blow
2
up out
and
of
3.
nowhere.
Right. Like, let's be clear. There's two shows
Hey,
in particular
Legendary.
that happened to that too, but Insecure and Game of Thrones. People were not checking for
T.
those shows like that, and then they blew up, and they are in our culture
Those were
now. They
scripted
are
shows,
never
but
going to leave.
those were scripted shows.
Legendary
But
as well. Or
Legendary
stuff
the
doesn't
like
same
matter as
thing.
long as they. What happens is if they can get the award, see the validation is the awards. That's what they can market.
Yep.
And once you get awards and get critically acclaimed like that, they'll run with it and market it.
And once you get a season 2, it's over,
Yeah, I mean,
and
you
that's
can
when
get
they'll
I
hit.
mean, hell, Legendary was clearly edited by a white person because the damn call outs was off beat from the music, and it still won all them awards. And I said, "There's no way." But then season 2, and I said, "Well, this viewership makes no sense." But shout out to the girls, like no shade. But yeah, they cheat all the time for that shit.
had star power. Legendary had a lot of like star judges. That even if you weren't into
Judges.
Personalities, okay? People on the show. Dang. People on the show.
Oh, but I think too, this is probably just an easy money grab because it's also easier to do a reality show. It's way cheaper to do a reality show, and that's what a lot of these studios are looking to say. How can we save money and make money?
And especially makes sense after
You're about to see a whole writer's room.
And then you still got for the fact that okay, so it's class.
16.
It's easier
But
to.
it's not good money for him. It's not good money for Gerard. Like, what does he gain from this? Like,
Oh,
after
it
this
is
show
good money for
edited-
him. They will pay him
they'll
because
pay
all of the
him.
money that they were going to spend in the writer's room, now he can get that. He's the EP and
Yep.
starring.
Oh,
And he knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing when it comes to collecting a check for writing
I
and
don't think he
producing.
knows what he's doing. I don't
He
think
putting
knows
on. He
anything.
putting on for a check.
I said for a check. I don't know about his
That man
for
is
the
an
future,
actor.
but for the check.
I don't know if he's a good actor, but he's an actor. He know what he doing for a check.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
it
just
will
not-
get money.
It's not long money.
So you
And I
think
think that's
and
what
he's
he's
then-
abandoned
It's
his
quick
idea of
money.
being like? So you
And,
think
and
he's
then it's a
abandoned the whole?
resume builder. And now you have a resume builder.
I
You have
my
a
own
show that was critically acclaimed,
Mm-hmm.
award
And did
winning. So now even when you do put out trash, they're more apt to give you an opportunity to put out trash because of your resume and your track record.
like M. Night Shyamalan.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Okay.
But wait a minute. With that being said, though, you only have a certain shelf life as a black artist doing that. M. Night Shyamalan can put out trash and he'll get so awarded. But Gerard, you are a black man in America. You only have a queen only has a certain shelf life. I'm sorry.
We know that.
His
You're
shelf
right.
life ends
agree.
when they get tired of him.
Yep.
And as long
And
as he paying, and as
Soon.
long
It's
as
not gonna like he's. It's
as
not
long
gonna be
as he
like
panders
10
to
years.
them, as far as they're concerned, he's an attraction just like Cedar Point. As long as he's still in good working order, they're gonna keep coming back.
Yep.
He's how old
And
is
I
he?
feel
He's
like
like 35. He got maybe 5 years at the best. He's not gonna make
Yeah,
up.
right. They
I can't
like
say
cooning
that.
at any age.
I won't say that, but I will say this:
Like let's be
when
clear.
they do throw
Billy
him
Porter,
away,
he can't
which
even buy a house. What's going on here?
They told him
I
he
will
was
say this:
pretty.
when they throw him away, which they will, and they've done it to many of our greats, both men and women, he won't have the generational pull and love that people like just the two names out here, Halle Berry and Janet Jackson did, because they were still rooted in blackness and love black people and showed that in different ways. He's not going to have that. So when they, some of their stuff was starting to dry up, younger folk, us younger folk pulled up, Gen Z and younger millennials popped up and said, "We love you, we adore you, give us more." He's not going to have that because many
He
of the
No,
black
he
won't.
folk
won't.
they don't like him who are younger.
I
It's
mean,
not
to be
going
Because
to happen.
when
fair,
they do, when the white people do throw you to the side, what black people usually try to do is try to lean back into their blackness, but you don't have
you
that
didn't
base.
start
You didn't
there.
have that foundation.
You
Yeah.
don't.
You did
At
At
not
the
have that
least
base with the
Tyler
foundation.
Carmichael
did.
show, the Carmichael show was the first Carmichael show was actually very good. Had very resident topics that were discussed, and it was a return to the sitcom days that we hadn't seen in a while. It was revolutionary in some ways.
It was a good show, but it wasn't marketed well by NBC because of that blackness. They don't
Right.
like they don't want that. It was a great show, but NBC didn't market it the way
See,
they should have
yeah.
because most of the black community was not watching that show.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing
Bubble,
is,
I see the Carmichael show trending on TikTok all the time.
I mean, some clips on TikTok, sure, but like what Prodigy said, like Prodigy, you mentioned Halle Berry and Janet Jackson. Here's the difference with them.
They're legends.
One, yes, but what it is the things that we as black people love about them, white people couldn't touch, right?
Ooh.
Halle Berry was one of the first black women to be in all of them kind of movies and all the blockbusters. We showed up to the movie theaters for her and nobody else in the damn cast because we wanted to see that black lady doing her big one. And no one could take that from her, right? Same thing with Janet. Regardless of why the other people liked her, we all knew that dance break, period.
Yeah.
We know
well, then I guess a better person would be literally Tyler the Creator and Lil Nas X. Their music is a little different.
Not yes,
but
that would make more. Yeah.
Certain actors who are coming up, they have that now. He does not. Even Billy, but no, Billy Porter don't got that.
Well,
But,
I'm sorry. No, I was about to bring up Janet real quick. Even with Janet, when they decide to start pulling her access, they did that in secret. They didn't make that public. They didn't make it public to her or the public. So even when they messed up with Janet Jackson, they still had to move in secret to do that.
True.
That's it. That's all.
Y'all knew I get sensitive about my queen Janet. Real sensitive.
Well, she's back.
Okay.
Beloved and all.
Anywhere.
I don't think anyone here is about to say anything outside of she's that girl. Like,
nope.
Like anyone
can
who
move better
said,
than myself. I'm 27. Shoot.
Okay. I'm 31.
When
I'm
is Janet?
trying.
When is Janet gonna get back to acting? I miss her on screen.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yes, I was just watching Why Did I Get Married the other day, and she was very good in that.
Now that she was good in.
So you was doing the bending. That's an amazing line. She hit that line. She felt that in her spirit.
Because she's
a good
asked
actress.
somebody. She's asked somebody that in real life before.
Probably.
Hey, that's
nigga. She asked him.
How you think Omari Hardwick got to play Ghost? With
You
that
say he
movie,
bent over
say
for
what you
50
want.
Cent's gorilla ass?
Lord.
I would like to see it. I'll be honest. I'd like to see it.
I don't. I will be happy for you all if you see it.
God help us.
He bent
And
over. Is anybody going to subscribe to Kanye's explicit website?
Who?
Wait, what?
Kanye.
Now you know Kanye is a proverbial hashtag ABC around these parts. We're not checking for him
at all.
Say, Teddy, didn't you say he was gonna have one of the palm colored people running it anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Next.
Come on. It'd be a little nice little black.com.
Would it?
No.
But he's not gonna be on there, and neither is anybody black.
Just
I'd
because he
rather have
wanted it don't
Evelyn
mean he gonna be
Lozada. Not Evelyn Lozada. What's her name? The other one.
Tammy Roman.
No, the one that be like Stevie.
Oh, Jocelyn Hernandez.
I would rather Jocelyn run something like that.
Period.
Jocelyn's body is so hard
don't
and
like
so
her.
manly.
It
I don't
is.
want to watch that.
I'm not talking
We're
about
not
her.
saying she's gonna be
No.
the actress. We saying she's
Right.
running it.
Why she can beat up the horse so the horse can have bruises while they're filming their scenes?
Oh dear God. Y'all gonna
I didn't think it would be
Coach Celine
good.
alone.
Say her taste in her own work is terrible, but her taste in other people is gorgeous.
Well, then there's that. Oh dear God. Well, listen, Gerard, I encourage y'all. This was the only palatable episode in the entirety of this show. I think he touched on some good points with the mom. And the dad was there, but the dad, they had already had their situation. But I would say watch it. It's the only good episode. The rest of it's trash.
Damn.
Trash.
It didn't require introspection from his own part, and that's why it was so good.
Oh wow.
Jalen Green had a baby.
Damn.
Who had a baby?
Jalen Green.
Who?
Dre Michelle's baby daddy.
Oh, I don't know these people. Put it in the members only chat. Shout out to the members only chat. I don't know these people.
The little boy she got pregnant by.
What?
The little boy that people saying she groomed and molested.
What?
Allegedly.
The one that was humping his friend.
Wait, who?
Jalen Green, the one that was humping his friend, the basketball player.
You talking about Dwight Howard's son?
No, Jalen Green, the one with Dre and Michelle.
Oh, well.
Yeah, little baby girl.
The silence.
Yeah. Listen, we on our every reviews with that one. We don't care. Just to and just some on tomorrow's episode of Run Your Mouth, we have to talk about the teacher that was having sex with her 11-year-old student. We have to talk about the basketball player who did this. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you there. We have to talk about the NBA player who did this to his girlfriend, descended from the Caucasus Mountains. So you know that ain't gonna end well. And then we have to talk about the black woman who was at on campus protesting Hamas in Gaza, and then conservative MAGA frat boys started calling her Lizzo and berating her, only to have a member of the United States House of Representatives back up those frat boys and say that they were right.
Yikes.
So
are you gonna talk about DJ Vlad trying to dox that lady from Princeton?
why are people even engaging with DJ Vlad? He's a horrible white man.
I thought we
He
were
was
long
engaging with
done with
them.
him.
They were minding their business, and he came and tried to talk to them. And they told him to go on somewhere. And so he tagged Princeton and told them that the lady was racist to him.
I do not like him at all.
DJ Vlad can't even go with God. He needs to go with Satan. Like,
Yeah,
just
Demon.
go away.
Doesn't match his voice.
Oh, God, I just don't like him. Anyway, I'm going to go get me. I did not get no crabs yesterday because I was traveling, but today will be crab day, and then I'll go to my Cinco de Mayo party tonight.
Hail tequila.
And then we'll get up tomorrow morning with a tequila hangover because I don't normally drink tequila. Any last words, Xavier?
Cancel this show. It's bad. It's not good. Gerard, find you some padded walls, and stack your money up for that lawsuit that little twink you got gonna bring against you. But anyway, go with God, everyone. Bless you.
Go with God. Angela?
Gerard, I tried to have some level of understanding from being from somewhat of a similar background. However, I was blessed with Black friends who taught me better and helped me learn to understand because I was willing to listen to them. So hopefully one day you realize that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you talk, and maybe we'll get somewhere in life. Until then, go with God.
Go with God. Prodigy's lawyer.
I would give you advice, but you won't listen to me because you don't care. Have a blessed day. And this was great. My first time talking in here. Hope I do it again.
Well, thank you for coming. 2 geeks and a nerd. What say you?
I will not try this show. I do not watch this show. I will not. After L Teddy's first review said you are not watching this show. I'm barely hanging on to reality shows anyway. So came up because the conversation was great. Definitely enjoyed myself. Don't get in lives too often. So thank you for having me.
Anytime. And I am suffering through it so that you all don't have to.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, because I am not watching it.
Anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for coming up. We about to get out of here, y'all. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. I know I've been going, but guess what, y'all? I'm going to be in town for like a whole 2 weeks, maybe, without going out of town. I gotta see at my schedule, but I think my next trip is not until like the 17th. So I'm not going nowhere until like another 2 weeks. Yeah,
until the man with the dog gives you a call.
Listen, and I have to answer that call. Rough. Anyway, we about to get out of here. Until next time, y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. We are out of here.